Alright, listen. The thoughts and opinions expressed on the Stay Down LA podcast belong to me, K Stacks to P, and maybe whoever else got the nerve to pull up. This ain't for the overly sensitive, overly serious, or anybody looking to be offended on purpose. If you're mad, you might want to log off now. And for everybody else, welcome to the Stay Down LA podcast. Let's talk our shit. So, just said something. I'm going to just check real quick to make sure we're live. Give me 1 second. Alright, looks like we're good. We're good. What up? It's your boy K Stacks the P. And I will not lie to you guys, I have low-key just been here. I low-key been here just on Instagram and Twitter. I was just catching up on me, looking for topics. So I was just on Twitter and I was like, oh, let's just see what's going on. And I ain't gonna lie, I just started doom scrolling and I got sunk in. I got drugged down to the sunken place. And I didn't mind at first because, this morning, woke up at 4 a.m., was in a rush to, want to get the podcast out and stuff, but my plans ended up being shifted off. So I guess that sense of urgency was removed. So I was able to just, my body just went to okay, well, we got all day then. So I was low-key trying to see if I could find something else to do that would still give me that same sense of urgency. Haven't found it yet, and I just kind of was like, let me just stop stalling because I probably could have already had today's episode done, but better late than never, and I'm better ever, I guess. But yes, if this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for deciding to click on this podcast. I know you probably seen the Stay Down LA and was like, Stay Down LA? Whatever does that mean? And you were just like, let me check it out. You're not wrong for that. You actually made an excellent choice. I hope you're prepared to be hooked forever, because once you watch one episode of the Stay Down LA podcast, you're gonna watch every episode. And with that being said, what episode are we? I can't hear you. What episode are we? We are episode 42. Episode 42. I don't know what besides Jackie Robinson, number 42, the first black African American Dodger player, the first African American. I don't want to say the first African American baseball player, right? Because I feel like would be very, very ignorant. Let me correct myself. But I know that his number was the number 42. So let me see. Jackie Robinson. Summary. With AI, you could just type that into Google, and you could do it. So Jackie Robinson from 1919 to 1972 was an American trailblazer who broke Major League Baseball's color barrier on April 15, 1947, becoming the first African American to play in the modern era for the Brooklyn Dodgers. The Dodgers was from Brooklyn? I remember, this is random, but I remember there was something about the Chargers coming back to LA, and I was like, coming back to LA? Y'all could, so the teams that we see nowadays that belong to all these states, countries, cities, wherever, they didn't all belong there at that time. But yes, Jackie Robinson, his number was 42. So we could say, yes, Jackie Robinson was a guy. I don't know how to read baseball stats, so he probably did have a lot of good stats. But he retired his jersey number 42. So I guess you could say this is the Jackie Robinson episode. You feel me? But of course, welcome back to all my supporters, man. Welcome back to the Scorpions, man. Welcome home. You guys already know this is the hub. This is where we come and discuss all the stuff that has been going on to us. Really just me, because I'm still trying to get my Scorpions to talk. I know we have the stingers and we're very, interesting looking creatures, but we have mouths. Y'all can speak up. Use your voice. Let's get together and use our voice and become one stronger voice and become one strong unit. a unit of scorpions that can take over anything. That with enough determination, we can accomplish everything. We can accomplish all. Alright. So now, this is brought to you guys by your one and only K Stacks to P. I know you're probably like, well, normally, K Stacks to P, you're usually much more iced out. Usually much more put together. And I will say one thing. Today, I went the relax route. Yes, I have pants on, don't worry. These are shorts. Honestly, I was just really rocking with this. Well, we're gonna get there with the weekly recap, but I recently went to a game night and it was pajama theme, so I went to Target. I know, I need to stop shopping there, and I was like, you know what? Let me go pick up some freaking PJs. Usually, Target's pajamas are much more on point. I guess you could say the inventory is much more there. Man, out of where do I want to start? But the inventory is usually much better there. But they just had this little thing, and I was like, you know, I fuck with Snoopy, and I felt like this was mature enough, but still childish enough to where it could be on the pajama, that the message would get across. You know what I'm saying? Because as a grown ass man, I have to be very, you know, man, we can't do nothing. There's a long list of things we can't do. So I had to be very careful when it comes to just wearing pajamas, because that's on the list of things that men can't do. We can't wear nice pajamas. We damn near can't even be alive for real. So it's like, with that being said, I just had to make sure this could like pass the rules, pass the gauge, and it did. And then who am I? I'm about to say, oh, I actually skipped something. This is brought to you guys by this podcast and this whole, this podcast. This podcast is brought to you guys by STAYDOWNLA, which is my brand, i.e. K Stacks to P. I made it myself. And it's a brand where I just come on here, I post my movie reviews, i.e. content, you know, TikToks, video game, I stream, so I stream on Twitch, I stream video games, so I post that on there as well. I also make music, and of course the podcast. So those are my four, I guess you could say those are my avenues. I'm a content creator, I'm a video game streamer, I am a musician, and I am a podcaster. I like that. So that's it. That's all I am. I ain't nothing more. I'm just kidding. I am a lot more, but that's what I am right now. And then of course, like I said, I've just been doing this for like 8 months now. You know what I'm saying? We're on episode 42, so definitely been consistent. Each episode is in accordance to the week that I've been recording to. So episode 42 means this is week 42 of the podcast. But it's week 44 of my consistency, because I was posting to Instagram before I started posting the podcast. The podcast came a little later, but it was one of those things that I was just in the back of my mind that I just knew I had to stop BSing around. But that's what this is brought to you guys by. Like I said, if you guys would like to collaborate, if there's any sponsors out there that would like to work with me, work with the STAYDOWNLA podcast or anything like that, just go to my Instagram at KStacks or at STAYDOWNLA _. Reach out to the email and we could, you know, come up with a nice fee. Of course, if your brand aligns with my brand, which is of course just trying to just help people out, you know what I'm saying? Self-help, personal improvement, community improvement, world building, and then financial literacy, and then, you know, athleticism. You know, I'm into sports. I'm into athletics. I'm into physical health. So let me not say sports, because I don't really talk too much about sports on here. I ain't even gonna get y'all hopes up. Politics, you know what I'm saying? Of course, because politics, that's gonna be helping further the black community, and, you know, hopefully retract some of this systemic racism that we continue to see in today's society. You know what I mean? But that's essentially what this podcast is for. So if you guys are aligned with that and you guys want to promote that on here, hit me up. In particular, Rocket Money, I fuck with Rocket Money because I use that personally. So that's a finance tool that I really, you know, appreciate. So if you guys would like to work with your boy, definitely get at me. Best Buy, because, you know, I'm a Geek Squad member, you know what I'm saying? Honorary Geek Squad member. I've never been hired, but I've always, you know, just dreamt about working. I've always dreamt about just going to people's houses. They always having a freaking technical issue that they're like, dang, man, I can't even figure this out, and then I just pull up there, you know what I'm saying? What you call it? What is that shirt called? Dang, I hate when I freaking have I can't remember a word. A button-up shirt. I guess we could just say uniform, but I pull up my uniform. They show me to the computer. It's like that one. It's like the SpongeBob movie where they needed a burger with some cheese, and SpongeBob comes in with the briefcase, and he's like, "Where's the burger?" And he opens the briefcase, and he's like, "Just give me 5 minutes with her." And he does his thing. I just always felt like that when it comes to computers. Like, I literally built my own PC. I've always just been interested in stuff like that. So, Rocket Money, Best Buy, AMC. Duh, I watch movies. Cinemark, you feel me? But I need to start fucking with Cinemark more before I start trying to, you know what I'm saying, get them to reach out to me, because they're gonna be like, so when's the last time you saw at a movie theater? I'm gonna be a little bit stuck because I haven't went there in a while. I'll keep it a beat. But the way AMC is moving, I might start having to jump back on my Cinemark bandwagon, you feel me? Because I got both. And then, of course, you know, Universal Studios, you feel me? Definitely get at your boy. Not for the Universal Studios Hollywood. I'm talking about Universal Studios Productions. Yeah, I want to make a movie. I'm trying to be a director. I'm trying to be an extra. Actually, give me anything. Just give me anything that will, like, result in my name being put into the cast list, the credits. Anything that will help me be able to be like, hey, make sure y'all stay after this movie. My name coming up. That's all I need. So, Rocket Money, Best Buy, Cinemark, AMC, Universal Studios. Those are my top 5 sponsors that I want to reach out to me. And of course, any sports brands, anything that feels like you guys want to be with the athletic nigga. I'm not too pressed on that though, because at the end of the day, I'm going to come out with my own sports brand. I'm going to come out with my own clothing brand as well. That's going to be also tied in with athletic wear. I mean, there's no way I'm going to be this athletic. There's no way I'm going to have all these muscles. I'm going to be this fit, and I'm not going to use it to my own advantage. So I'm going to eventually have to make my own clothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to make my own fits that I can sweat in and I can share. So yeah. So any manufacturers, get in with your boy. But now that we got the self-promo off the way, who am I? I am Case. It's so funny because I was about to say Case Recipe, because anytime I do my voiceovers on TikTok and they do the captions, it always anytime I say Case Recipe, it says Case Recipe. And honestly, I see it now. I hear it now. But who am I? Like I said, I am a musician, actor. I'm not an actor, but I'm a musician, content creator, personality, and just a regular guy. There's no difference between me and you. The only difference between me and the difference between you is I'm chasing my dreams. Something that you should be doing. Come on now. That was dope, right? That was motivational as fuck, right? Come on. I know. I'm a motivational speaker. Oh, sorry. Let me get these hiccups out the way. But now that we got the promo and the introductions out the way, let's get into the most important part of each episode of this podcast. And yeah, because I was going to say this, there's not really much I can say about it. But the prayer. If you guys do not know, I am Muslim, meaning I practice Islam, meaning I am not Christian, not Buddhist, not Jewish. You know what I'm saying? So if you have any issues with Islamic people, you have any issues with Muslims, see your way out now. Oh, that's why I always do it first, because it's like, you're not going to be an hour into my podcast and be hating on Muslims or hating on black people. Let's get all the racist niggas out of here. Let's get all the freaking, you know what I'm saying, the bigots out of here right off the bat. Let's get y'all the fuck out of here. So that way all the real people can be here. And that way, even if you guys do decide to stay and, you know what I'm saying, want to do whatever y'all want to do, it'll be even more funny, because it'll be like, oh, well, why'd you stay in there? Why'd you watch that? Like, he said he was Muslim. He said he was black. You can see he's black. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I do that just to get that out the way, so that way there be no wanderers, no stragglers. This is for us, by us. FUBU. So, now that we got that out the way, let's start off with a prayer. Come closer, y'all. Shout out to Keep It 100, because every time they run they always do a prayer. And I like the way that Buddha always says that, hey, if you guys like to pray, or you guys want to come and get this prayer, come closer. If you guys don't want to get this word, it's okay. But I always like the way he says it. It's always like, yeah, like, if you don't want to come and get this prayer, that's perfectly fine. But stay out the way for the ones that want to come get this, you know what I'm saying, this word. So those that want to be a part of this prayer, come closer, come closer. I was blessed to the Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdinas siratal mustaqim, Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim, ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim wa lad-dallin. Ameen. Allah, I just want to thank you for another day. Alhamdulillah. Allah, I just want to say thank you for waking me up. Thank you so much for another opportunity. Thank you so much for another opportunity to be able to record a podcast episode. Thank you so much for giving me a platform. Thank you so much for allowing me to be having this freedom to be able to have free will, freedom of speech, the ability to think for myself, the ability to come up with my own ideas, to be able to speak for myself. Like, nothing I do is based on anything else. The fact that I'm able to have the freedom of mind, freedom of just freedom. Thank you, Allah, for that. I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate the fact that you even given me an audience, Allah. I want to say thank you to the audience. I want to say I just want to pass on the prayer, pass on protection to the audience. Anyone that supports the content, anyone that supports me, anyone that shows any type of love, or just watches me, listens to me in any type of way, Allah, I just ask that you guide them, protect them, and allow them to be able to be in a position to be able to foster whatever that person is working towards and get to. Allow them to be able to be in the right path, on the right, the right route to that goal. And I ask that you please continue to watch over me, guide my family, my siblings, my mom, my dad, Mashid, Malik, Arfad, Nikki, Adeoye, Uncle Bayat, Joke, everybody that I mention my name, everybody that don't mention my name, please continue to guide them, protect them, allow us to keep reaching our goals. As I am getting one step closer to my graduation, Allah, I ask that you please guide me and protect me over my education, over my mindset, and over everything that I need to be able to be on the right path. And just overall, just allow me to have the emotional fortitude to be able to handle and be able to make it past any situations or any hiccups, anything that might affect me or anything that bothers me. I don't ask to not be able to go through anything. I ask for the emotional stability and the capacity to handle that, and ask that to be also passed on to the viewers and the supporters that even engage in this. And I know you might be surprised, but even to the haters, because at the end of the day, nobody can hate on this. Nobody that's hating on this can even affect this or stop this. And of course, I want to give a big, very big shout out to my angels that are beyond, that are watching over me, protecting me, and guiding me. Big shout out to my grandparents, my grandma, on both sides. May you guys rest in peace. Big shout out to my auntie Bosse. Shout out to Latif's mom. Latif, love and miss you. Kalila, Elliot, may you guys all rest in peace. Perfect peace, man. And you guys, y'all got me tearing up, man. I mean, amen. And I pray that this prayer is accepted and followed through. Like I said, man, death is just one of those things where, you never really can anticipate it, and you can never really anticipate how it's going to affect you. You know what I mean? So, big shout out to my angels, to the people that are not here. I know, like I said, there was definitely one point where this podcast was going to be super duper serious, but like I said, I'm glad I got off of that, because being too serious all the time is not me. So I'm glad I can have my serious moments and I can still be a little fun. You feel me? But now that we got the prayer out the way, let's have a really blessed day. So episode 42, guys, we're going to start it off with, honestly, I'm going to do the weekly recap, because this week, pretty straightforward week like last week, in a sense of there wasn't too many hot spots throughout the week where it's like, okay, I feel like I should say that towards the end. I might as well get that out the way first. Then we're going to go into some movie reviews, or one movie review. The movie we're going to be discussing today is Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I'll keep it a bean. I didn't really care for it, but I'll get more into detail when we get to that aspect of the episode. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about episode 8 of The Invincible. That was ends the season. So season 4 of Invincible has come to a close. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys haven't seen it, definitely go watch it. Definitely go catch up. I ain't gonna lie to you guys, I have not been watching Euphoria, so I cannot tell you guys about Euphoria. But I did find this show on Amazon Prime called Fist of the North Star, so I want to talk about that a little bit. And then we got some stuff from Instagram we're going to talk about, and some stuff from Twitter that we're going to talk about. And the best part is today, we're not in a rush. Well, I'll be honest. I kind of almost was in a rush, but I decided to No, let me not even say that. I wasn't in a rush. I actually was on time today, but because I realized I had more time, I started BSing. I'm gonna keep it a bean because originally today, me and the homie Eman, big shout out to my homie Emmanuel. Shout out to my homie Emmanuel. That's really my brother. We was gonna go to Six Flags, but Six Flags ended up not being open today. So I woke up at 4 a.m. trying to record the podcast episode before Six Flags time, so that way I can have it ready. Go to Six Flags, come home, do what I have to do, and upload it. But when I woke up this morning, woke up at 4 a.m., I seen on the app, I said Six Flags not open today. So I instantly hit my nigga up. I was like, hey, they said it's not open today, so, you down to go tomorrow or next week? But he can't go tomorrow. He can't go tomorrow for this week. He can't go tomorrow for next week. So it's even funnier because I'm like, well, now for sure, I'm going to really be on point for next week, Thursday, and, make sure I have the episode done. Or, like I said, make sure I start recording on time so that way I can have it finished before it's time for us to go. Because it opened at 10:30. So it's kind of like the similar thing with my school schedule where I would try to record the podcast before class. My class at 10:50. So, I'll try to get in here 4 to 6, then do what I have to do, and then be out of here, on stuff. But like I said, if this is your first episode, you're not going to know. But if you've been here before, you guys know. Guilty as charged. I'll be trying to get in this thing early, but I always end up prioritizing the podcast over my class. That sounded so crazy. But it's only because it was lecture. I was never prioritizing my podcast over actual work. Literally, when the class time I was missing was what we was, because the class was already, man, I'm over here explaining myself. I'm talking to my mom. The class was reversed. So we would do work at home, study, get I guess you could say, a well enough understanding of it, and then would come to class, and then she would then go into detail and break it down. So it's like a reverse lecture, you know what I'm saying? You go home, study the material, and then you come to class, and we go over the material that you study. Whereas before, or the normal way is, the teacher presents you material, new chapter, whatever, you guys go over it, then you follow up and go home and study it. But I'm not saying that I ain't complaining. Big shout out to this professor because of her, I don't even gotta go to. I don't even gotta go to. I don't wanna. I don't even gotta go to school. I'm so excited. I keep stuttering. Dad, you get me to stutter, cause my dad be stuttering, and I'll be like, dang, I hope I don't stutter. But I think cause he stutters when he gets mad, but I guess I stutter when I get excited. Wow. Everybody's so creative. So yeah, essentially, no more having to go to class in person. And I think a part of that was why my sense of urgency was gone, because like I said, my sense of urgency today was for Six Flags. Once the Six Flags was gone, I was like, oh shit, and like I said, I'm not to my own horn, but I will brag. I think I'm pretty good at this podcast, where now I think I could just jump in it. As long as I know what I'm going to talk about, though, I think I could just jump in it. The issue was I was BSing myself for the moment, and I wasn't getting the topics together. So once I kind of locked in, I was like, okay, let me get these topics together. Let me start doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm about to be, we're about to get into action. And big shout out to, honestly, how do I say it? Because I want to give a big shout out to the Joe Budden podcast. But one thing I've noticed, right, is big shout out to Ish, I guess in particular. I think you're just better off just keeping your relationship status a mystery, man, because I think I'm just 50-50 on it. Like, part of me, when I talk to girls, I be wanting to, I talk to homies, that's different. But like, when I be thinking my content, part of me is like, why would I ever speak on someone who I don't even know is going to still be in my life for a week for now? You know what I mean? Like, anytime I just think about just involving new people into my shit, especially because now that I make content full time, I'm always like, because like I said, I'm always going to go back to Adria. I have to, because I'm like, bro, there was really a point where we was like this. Every episode I was just mentioning, dropping, then we not being cool no more. And then it just got weird because I'm like, damn, I done fucking bigged up this person so freaking much, and now I'm never speaking to this person again. That's so awkward. So now, that's why sometimes it be coming off like, oh, I don't be telling y'all the full story. Or honestly, it could never come off like that to y'all because y'all don't ever know the full story for me to be like, oh, I'm holding back. But for me, hold on, I'm looking at this hair. I'm looking at this piece of hair that's been sticking out. But for me, knowing it and knowing how much I like to explain myself, knowing how much I like to go into detail, I always feel bad when I'm like, and it's not feeling bad. It's more so like I said, it's a respect thing. I know how sensitive people are, and I know that a person could care less about what is being spoken on, more focused on the fact that they're being spoken on. So that's why I'm just like, let's just keep it like that. So I was going to talk about what just happened on my watch, but I'm like, nah, we're going to just keep everything that's sacred to myself, that's sacred to me, sacred, so that way it can stay sacred and it can stay safe. And if it becomes something that needs to be spoken on here, then we're going to speak on here. Good homies. But like I said, we're going to start off with the weekly recap. So starting on Friday, it was a simple Friday. Woke up after my night out because I ended up going to, I told you guys, I ended up going to a freaking, I didn't tell you guys. I ended up going to a game night that my homegirl invited me to. It was really dope. Pulled up there after my run club, and that was even funny. Let me not say I didn't think I was gonna go. I think it was one of those things where I was like, is this gonna overwhelm my day? You know, because I had podcast. Dang, that was a really good Thursday. I had podcast, then I had class, then I went to go see the Lean Cronies, the Mummy, then I went to the running club, and then I still managed to go out and freaking, damn, let me read it. I'm like, I did all that Thursday? Sheesh. That was definitely a very interesting Thursday for your boy. So, if today is April 23rd, last week is April 16th. So, on April 16th, you know what I'm saying? I woke up, yeah, exactly. There was no cap in my rap. Woke up, went to class. Dang. Okay, then I made a TikTok. And then, literally, once I left class, I literally went straight to the movies. Sheesh. Left the movies. Oh my god. That's exactly, yeah. That's exactly where the fuck we're starting at. You're motherfucking right. I had a fucking great ass Thursday. Let's fucking talk about it. Who the fuck do I think I am, nigga? I fucking woke up at 4 a.m., nigga. Recorded a fucking 2-hour episode of my fucking podcast. Episode 41 out now. Go check it out. If I'm not mistaken, it's called Give the People What They Want, and that's what I'm gonna do every fucking time. And let's just get that straight too. I guess you could say, supplying my supporters because I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm probably gonna say that every episode. This is not a parasitic relationship where you guys are gonna be taking over the host. This is a symbiotic relationship. Like, I guess a symbiotic relationship is a little parasitic too, but in the sense of like, we're working together, y'all. I like doing what I do, and you guys happen to like me too, so that's why we keep going. But it's not on some shit where it's like, we tell you to drop content and you gonna drop content, nigga. No. It's cause I enjoyed this, so that's where the medium is at. So yeah, definitely go check out episode 41 because I did my shit on that episode. But I said that to say that to get off that episode, dang, that's so funny. So you telling me because that's what it is. Generally speaking, my Thursdays are like, I guess because they're the podcast day, I don't think to even write about it. But that Thursday in particular was such a nice Thursday that I probably should have led it with that. But that's just me thinking in hindsight, y'all. We're here now. We just gonna keep the ride going, smooth, right? So yeah, essentially, I recorded that episode, and then I went to class. So in class, it was supposed to be my last in-person class, but not the last day of the semester. But essentially, we're just going there because working on the final is my 30-40 class, Research Methods in Psychology. So we're working on the culmination of our, project where I told you guys I was doing a survey and then everything. So essentially, if we had any questions that just needed to be asked in person or could have been asked in person, because like I said, the professor's like, hey, we don't really got no point in meeting up anymore, so y'all might as well just do this right now. So that, because I'm trying to give you guys the background information. My bad. So then, I get there. I guess, I might as well keep it a bean with y'all. So, there's this. It's just because I'm like, well, I probably should have because I'm still in school, right? So since I'm still in school, we're gonna hold off on revealing this. But just put it like this: my final is as good as done for this class, and essentially I was just there just to, I'm just there so I don't get fined for real. So I'm there and I'm just laughing because I'm like, damn, I forgot that there's gonna be niggas in here really working on their shit, and my shit is already done. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my final was already done. I'm just not turning it early because, like I said, just personal reasons why I don't feel like turning it in right now. But and then possible, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you don't want to be too cocky, finish something before everybody, and then you turn it in and it's not right. You know what I'm saying? But it's so funny, right? Because when I was younger, let me not say when I was younger. In high school, I remember hearing this in particular from a couple of my teachers. They used to tell me that whenever we have a presentation, try to be the first person to present, because the professor or the teacher, because I didn't have a professor at this time, but my teacher would say that they're more willing to be lenient or at least understanding of the person presenting. Well, yeah, this probably wouldn't work for adult higher education unless we're in person, because essentially what I'm saying is, for example, it's a class of 10 people. One teacher. The assignment is to present something. My teacher would tell me that they would be more lenient to me if I would just go first and at least just give the best I could than me to wait to be the last person to be picked on, because by then you've already seen however many people have presented, and you've already kind of, in a sense, like, you know what to do. You know what the professor is looking for. I keep saying professor because I'm in college. You know what the professor is looking for, and you know what not to do. So, like, by the time they get to, if they were giving, let's say for the first presenter, they give them a B, but it was like a C presentation, the last person's going to have to give an A presentation just to get an A, because now it's like, nah, I'm not going to give, a chance. So for me, now I'm in college, I kind of think like that too, because I'm like, why am I always so fast to, like, when it comes to, like, big projects, to want to get it done? But it's essentially like that, because I feel like when you the quicker you turn it in, the less, I guess, in my opinion, like I said, I convinced myself that the less the teacher expects you to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact that you get it in done fast makes it just show that, like, look, you just trying to get it done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, look, I'm just presenting you the best me that you're gonna get. This is not me trying to be super polished. This is me just trying to get it done. You know what I'm saying? So give me credit for that. But as I'm saying, I'm like, I know some professors probably be like, just because you got it done fast, I still need quality. Yeah, you're right. But essentially, I'm already done with I'm already done with the essay portion. I just need to do my presentation portion. So I'm in class, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I love my group, but in reality, you guys know me, I don't really talk to many people out there. So once the group aspect of the assignment was kind of done, I kind of retreated my energy towards the group mates, and I kind of feel bad because my boy Joel, shout out to Joel, he was asking me like, oh, like, Kadu, so, like, he was basically just asking me a question about the project, and I felt bad because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, brother, honestly speaking, man, just go ask the professor, gang. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm like, I'm so in my own, I'm so focused on me right now, and like I said, I really didn't want to go to class. I really didn't want to come to class, but like, it wasn't because I knew this was gonna happen. I was just like, dang, like, we're finally done. I'm finally done with the school. I'm finally done with Cal State LA. That's really how I'm feeling right now. Dead homies. So when I went up there, I'm just like, hey, I'm just chilling. So he's really asking me a question about his project and stuff, and I'm just feeling bad. So I'm like, bro, I really don't care. Like, honestly. And I know that's not the energy and that's not the mindset I'm supposed to have. So I'm like, that's why I'm like, so to not do that, I'm like, let me just direct you to the professor. Like, oh, she can help you. You feel me? Type shit. So ultimately, I don't know if he did ask all the questions he wanted to ask her, because I know he did follow up with me later on this week and was asking me something else, and I was like, I don't know. Like I said, even right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. My boy Andrew C. He just hit the chat. Was like, he hit me yesterday. It was like, oh, how do I do something with this assignment? And I was like, I didn't. Honestly, I just didn't reply because I'm like, well, I'll be honest. The reason I didn't reply is because I feel like he has a knack for doing this, where it's like, we'll be in a situation where you can ask the professor and you can get the right answer, and he just won't ask, and then get the answer from the professor, but he would just he'll be still lost. So I think I don't know. I think he just probably has a harder time understanding the concept. So, but it's just one of those things where some people have patience for it. I just don't have the patience for it, I guess. But I know, I'll be honest, I know it was somebody else, I probably would, but it was just, I've just seen with him, it's kind of one of those things where I never thought I'd see the day. I never thought I'd see the day. That is so embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. I just had to mute the mic, y'all, because I just farted. Yeah. I'm not proud of it, but my body was functioning. I honestly was going to just let it rip. So I just thought about it. I was like, am I about to just fart on my supporters like that and do y'all like that? No. I muted it in time and I stopped the mic in time. But I couldn't not say it because I feel like we're all human, so I should be honest. But I just feel bad. I couldn't let y'all hear it. Y'all couldn't hear it, but I did do it. I ain't gonna lie for it. Sorry. But yeah, essentially, like I said, he just don't seem serious enough for me. That's just the easiest way to put it, because I'm like, I really fuck with the guy, but I'm just like, nah. Like, if it was Joel, yeah, for sure, Joel, I would be like, oh, here's how you find this assignment. But Andrew, I'm like, Andrew, did you even attempt to try to look it up, gang? And this is Andrew C, not Andrew V. Shout out to both of them. But Andrew C, like I said, it just kept seeming like, bro, I'll be honest with y'all. The last 2 weeks of class, Andrew C, he, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know if people think we're not gonna pay attention to stuff they say, but that's why that's why me as a psych major, I get so frustrated, because I'm like, there's no way we all taking the same curriculum, right? And we're all in this curriculum of I feel like we overthink, we base things off of behavior, patterns. I don't know how many times I gotta emphasize, we based off behavioral patterns. I've been noticing the last week, brother, you kept saying you have a code, you have something going on, you have something going on. In reality, I just thought, you know what I'm saying? Bro just don't care about the class. But for the group effort, I have to take it personal in the sense of, if there was a level, and if they had 100%, if we had 100% of group effort in a circle, and it was the rest of us all around, there would be a good amount of percentage that would go to each person. But my Andrew C, I know he wouldn't get that much percent, because it was coming off like, brother, you have a good group, and you know that we not gonna say anything. But it's like, don't take advantage to where it's like you just don't show up ever, and then you just expect to just keep getting all the information. That's where what's so funny? And I'm saying that because I almost was on that type of time. I'm not really one of those niggas that needs to come and ask to another student. I'm the type of nigga that, like I said, if I'm not showing up to class because I already understand the class, I'm not showing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. But I realized early on, I said, nah, man. This is the type of class that if you don't show up, you might miss the nuance. You might miss the conversation that's had leading up to the assignment being explained that would help you really understand what's going on. So I was like, hey, if you really care about it, you're going to show up. And like I said, it just goes, whoa. Oh my gosh. What the heck? I never had that feeling before. It's like I almost pulled a muscle, but it's like, the body is a whole bunch of nerves and like synapses. That's what they say. So I just feel like a shock when I scratched my leg just now. But essentially, like I said, I was just like, it just seemed like bro was giving up on himself. And like I said, there's other teammates in the class. There's other teammates in the group. We're not in a group anymore. They can help you out, gang. But because I'm so open and nice, I think he kind of was like, oh, this guy fucks with me, and it's like, yeah, I fuck with you as a guy, but like I said, we're in college, brother. Like I'm gonna need to see some urgency. I'm gonna need to see some pep in your step. You know what I'm saying? To want to actually get a grip on these concepts, and get a grip on this assignment. Like I said, I might as well say the assignment. It's a LinkedIn where we're basically trying to learn how to use Canva. And like I said, this is something that's 2 weeks ago. He's just not asking me about it. I'm just like, brother, I already done turned it in. And honestly speaking, I didn't even know how to get to it, if I'm being honest with you. I had to have someone else show me. So you probably better off go asking that person. So I just didn't respond. But, you know, like I said, it was just more nuance behind it, because even in a situation like that where I might not be the one to know all the information, I still will try to help if I feel like the person is worth helping. And I feel like he's worth helping, just not me. Just not for me, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I don't know. Too cringy for me, I guess you could say. But then, yeah, so after we left class, which like I said, I really didn't show. Excuse me. My body's functioning right now. Sorry, y'all. Damn. My bad. I'm a nigga. Damn. So after I left class, yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm done here. Put my laptop in the trunk, you know what I'm saying? Make sure it wouldn't get my car broken into, because my car's been broken into 3 times already. If I'm not mistaken, 3 times already. If it's not twice, if it's not 3 times, it's twice. Because one time when I was at Brazy Girls and one time when I was at work. So I guess it is twice. Yeah, it is twice. And then shout out to my uncle for helping me pay the second time, because I was down bad. Well, I just didn't want to pay. So yeah, I look at the movie times, and it's so crazy, because that's how you know that even me one, because I'll be honest, when I went to go see the Lee Cronin movie, or I guess prior to me seeing it, I was interested and I was like looking forward to it, but because I was so like convinced about the other idea of Mummy, like I said before, cause I'm not gonna get into the spoiler review right now, but just to get you guys that, I guess let me just answer your guys' questions. It's not like the other Mummy movies. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. And honestly speaking, I was going to actually play some of my favorite movie reviewers' explanation of the movie. I'm going to try to see if I can have like somebody that does it to where, because, you know, at the end of the day, I don't want to steal nobody's content. So if I do play it, I'm going to give a big shout out to them, credit them, and like, of course, you know, go to their channel. I probably won't, because copyright things, but I'm still going to reference them and stuff. I just want them to feel like I'm stealing their content, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know, they make podcasts too, so I'm not trying to take their listeners and stuff, and I really respect them and I appreciate them. As like I said, I watch them on YouTube, so I ain't gonna lie, I was looking forward to their review. That's just, I really fuck with, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I fuck with movie reviewers that are like me, that like, yes, we're here for a freaking movie. We know the movie's not real, okay? Fuck it. No, I don't care. But we still want some effort, you know what I'm saying, behind a plot, you know what I'm saying, behind a script. I hate when people be like, bro, it's fake. Like, the story doesn't need to always make sense. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't, but like, it's 2026. We're kind of all, generally speaking, we're all pretty smart, right? Like, if there's a movie and there guy's talking about some, man, I murdered my freaking... like the freaking movie, or what you call it, How to Not Get Away with Murder, like episode 38, episode 39 of my podcast. If you're going to be talking about some, you're going to be killing your family people for inheritance, and all of a sudden you don't get caught, yeah, I'm going to be side-eyeing it, because how the fuck have you got caught, my nigga? What the fuck? So yeah, that's just the type of person I am. So, Fish and Jelly Podcast, that's online. Let me shout them out right now before we even get to it, so that way nobody could try to say, Caduce is stealing their freaking, their content. Fish Jelly. I kept saying Fish and Jelly. Fish Jelly Film Reviews. That's so hard. So they spoil movies. They watch trailer reactions. You can't fool. This is their bio. This is not me saying this. Gay homosexuals Nick and Joseph give their take on upcoming theatrical releases and select Blu-ray restorations. Their videos look at cinema from a queer and racially aware perspective. I agree, because that's why I fuck with them. You feel me? Like, yeah, because, yeah, that's the best way to put it. So, yeah, definitely go fuck with them. Fish Jelly Film Reviews, if you guys want some uncut, raw, like I said, racially aware, queer aware, you know what I'm saying, reviews, yes, this is where I go to. So, like I said, they did Lee Cronin's The Mummy, and I feel like, I thought I was being harsh on the movie. They made me feel like, okay, cool, I'm not tripping then. But we're going to get into that a little later. But like I said, I just want to give a shout out to them because I'm going to be playing some clips for them. Because like I said, I want to give a review on it. But honestly speaking, y'all, I fell asleep during this movie. I'll keep it being with you guys. I tell you guys this, well, for the first time listeners, you guys don't know this. But a telltale sign if a movie is good for Caduce, and how you can tell if the movie is good in period, did Caduce stay awake the whole movie time? Because I ain't gonna lie, I do landscape, so I kind of do walk in there a little drowsy. But even at that, freaking Mario kept me entertained. They Will Kill You kept me entertained. Like, there's so many movies where even I've been the most landscaped out of my mind, and I've still stayed up. Nope. Man. What you call it? Get Out. Man. Shout out to those movies for real, man. Because if anything, I've actually chilled out on the landscaping because I've been feeling like, you know what I'm saying? I've been trying to give I've been trying to give the movies that I don't mess with more credit because I'm like, maybe I'm just too done for. Maybe that's why I fell asleep. I was just so tired that the movie didn't stand a chance. Not this one, because I was kind of excited. But yeah, essentially, I picked the movie time. The movie time was a little bit past my, I guess you could say, the time that I would have wanted or preferred to be at the movie theater. But I decided to still choose it because I knew I had a. This is still on Thursday, guys. I know. I don't know how I do it. I just do it. But essentially, the game night was that night, so I was like, oh well, I killed two birds with one stone. Before I go to the movie, there's a Target up the street. Let me go to Target and then come watch the movie. So I ended up going to, like I said, selecting my movie time. Landscaped up. I was gonna say, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. I just, for my mom and my dad, because they might not watch this. My parents are so smart, right? They're so smart that I know they're going to eventually find my podcast, but there's also a good chance they don't find the visuals. So just in case they only listen to it audioly, that's why I say what I say. So I landscaped and I made it to Target. Went to Target. They kind of switched up their design of this location in particular because I felt like it was way more easier to find stuff. But I guess maybe the men's section just got so small that they just like, yeah, we could just put it with the boys. Because essentially, the women's and babies, they all have like their whole section. But the men's section is kind of mixed with the boys section. And I kind of was like, okay, well, damn. I didn't want to have to bother none of you employees, but now I have to. So I had to ask somebody, where's the pajamas? They directed me to pajamas. Didn't direct me to the right place. Then I asked another lady. And I'm saying this because, like I said, you know, it is one of those things where I'd much rather you tell me you don't know where something's at than you tell me go here. Because maybe, like I said, maybe I take it personal because I used to work at Target. And it's like, you don't have to tell a nigga an area. You know what I mean? Like, I used to do security. So, you know, granted. But I guess if anybody's expected to know the setting would be security, right? And I guess that would always be my mindset when they would come and ask me, because people would always come up, oh, where's this at? Where's this? I'm like, why are you asking me? I don't know, nigga, what the fuck? But, you know, I guess they just expect security to know everything. But even with that, I still would tell them, I had no issue telling them, hey, I generally don't know. Let me send you to somebody else that's more well-informed. But, like I said, I think niggas just be thinking, yeah, I can tell this nigga, he's looking for food? Yeah, over there. And they'll never come back to me. Not me, bro. Not me. I might not come back to you, but I'm going to make a mental note that this whole ass nigga just tell me to go to the other side of the store knowing he didn't know where the fuck I was going. Like, you're weird, you know? But this gentle lady knew where she was going, so she ended up telling me, no. Men's wear or men's sleep clothes right there. Mind you, like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. I ended up going back towards where I was at with him, so that's how I know. I'm like, yeah, this nigga didn't know what he was doing. Go get it. I find this nice Snoopy shirt and short combo. And it's so funny, right? Because the original one I found was just a shirt. So I was low-key finna just go to the register with just a shirt because it was large. But then I ended up finding this one in medium, and it's the shirt and the shorts. And I'm like, you know, Caduce, you gotta embrace this new lifestyle. And I'm saying this as, dang, you know, might as well. If you guys don't know this, I used to be 200 pounds. I'm just kidding. I was only 200 pounds for like a month at most. Maybe let's say 3 months. But it wasn't that large of a stint in my life, but essentially I've always been wearing large clothes. You know what I'm saying? I've always been on the bigger side. You know, so when I started losing weight, I guess mentally I never really accepted it, so I kept getting large items, and I have a couple of shirts right now. I have a couple fits right now that low key just don't really match me, or they come off obnoxiously oversized. You know, like there's the oversized clothes or the oversized wear where you know, like, yeah, I'm purposely getting this because it's going to be oversized, where there's me, where it's like I'm a medium and I got a large because I thought the large would look, you know what I'm saying, would fit my body's type. You know, I guess like body dysmorphia, but it's not really body dysmorphia for me because like I know I'm smaller. Yeah, I guess it is body dysmorphia, but I just haven't really accepted it. You know what I'm saying? So I still order large, but this time around I seen it and I said it's a medium shirt and pants. F it, let's get it. I know deep down like I could fit a medium, but I guess I'm just nervous. And also, I wash all my clothes, so you know should be shrinking. So sometimes I just get large because I just assume that it's going to shrink into a medium. So at least if it starts as large, I can still wear it when it gets shrunk. So that's, you know, my mindset when it comes to just getting clothes and stuff. Because like I said, I've recently found out that I'm actually a level, not level, but I think I'm 30 on my pants. So I used to be 32. I guess 34. I'm like a 34, 32. But my Kasubi's is 33. So it's like, it's weird. But pretty much, I used to be 36, 36. You know, I used to be like really big waisted. So my mindset is always thinking 36, 36. So now, like I said, I had to just, imagine, you have to get a whole new wardrobe, but you want to keep the old wardrobe. You know what I'm saying? Because all my clothes are still good to use. It's just, they're just bigger on me now, you know? But I'm not going to get bigger to fit it. You feel me? Like, duh. If I'm smaller, I'm going to stay small. It is what it is. And then when the clothes has ran its course, then I'll give it away. Because as a Nigerian, we donate. Because I don't say, but I don't go to Goodwill or anything like that. I usually just give it to my family in Nigeria. So whatever we don't wear, whatever we don't use, or whatever we feel like we can just give to them, that will be much more appreciated. We stuff it in a car, stuff it inside of a trailer, put it on a boat, send that thing to Nigeria. They take it off the boat, open that thing, and now they got themselves a car and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a win-win. But essentially, I go to checkout. Nothing really, because I'm like, did anything interesting happen at the Target? No. What really interesting happened? Man. And it sucks because I'm gonna have to dox it because I don't know if this is a common occurrence. But I go to AMC South Bay. I don't have to get the address, but that's just, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. You guys can do, y'all can do what y'all gotta do if y'all want to figure it out. I hope my audience, like I said, respects my privacy enough to not want to be where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Just let me watch my movies, y'all. So I go to AMC South Bay. I always go to the South. No, not always, but this is my movie theater because it's just, I feel like it encompasses. Yeah, it's just, you know what I mean, it's in a good enough area to where I feel like I won't be bothered going in and coming out. And the fast food restaurants nearby are up to my standard. I just keep it like that. So essentially, I frequent this one, and I've been going here over a year now. So I'm pretty confident when I say this that their food menu used to be the shit. It used to be fire. There used to be a point where you could get a whole platter, mozzarella sticks, pretzel bites, chicken tenders, and something else. But there used to be a time, you know what I'm saying? We used to be a decent country, right? A real American pride, a country that really ran on pride, a country that really ran on beliefs, still on what they believe in. What are you telling me now that AMC dine-in cinema has removed all the dining options, and now you're only leaving me with chicken tenders, nachos, hot dogs, freaking mozzarella sticks, and then you don't even deliver it to my you don't even take it to my seat anymore. Now it's not even AMC dine-in, it's AMC pickup. I was so taken aback, cause I'm already knowing. I'm like, it's a long Thursday. I have food at home, but part of me is like, you know what? I'm about to go see a movie. I do kind of need to eat something for the movie, right? But I go up there and I see the menu. I say, and it's so funny because I actually walk up there. I'm kind of looking stupid at first because the menu, if you go to any AMC or you go to any movie theater, they usually display the menu on a TV screen that's I guess you could say rotating the screen. You know what I'm saying? So it's never just, usually for the most part, it's never just showing one screen the whole time. It'll show snacks, it might show drinks, it might show accessories. It just replaying the cycle of different items that they sell. So I'm looking at the menu, I'm looking at the TV screen, and I noticed that it didn't change. And I'm like, where are the burgers? Because there used to be a Western barbecue burger that AMC, I know them for. I guess they're not known for it, because if they was known for it, I feel like this would have been a bigger complaint. But that I know them for, nice. And it came with bacon, but I always get with no bacon. Nice. Double cheeseburger. Onion rings. You feel me? With the barbecue sauce. And it came with fries. No drinks. You duh. But it was a good menu order. It was a good menu item. And then just in general, this freaking AMC, and this AMC South Bay in particular, they used to have a lot of menu items. I don't know what happened. And I'm like, I guess, am I overly big back for feeling some way? Because I'm like, y'all not going to, like, I guess I was expecting there to be more of a communication aspect. Like, hey, people that come to this location in particular, just so you guys know, like, you know what I'm saying? Usually they do that. Like, oh, hey, we got a new menu. Hey, we taking stuff off the menu. And it's so weird because I kept peeping it. It's like every time I came there, they removed something. Every time I show up, something else was missing from the menu. Now, you guys are taking the whole dine-in experience, in my opinion, because now you guys are telling me we're only going to... And that's what, like I said, it lowers the quality and the standard of the food, because essentially what I'm saying is that when they had to bring your food to your table, to your movie theater, there was in a sense a level of quality. Like, there was a standard level of quality that had to be there, because if we're bringing this food to you, it means it's gonna take a while. It means, like, someone has to put this together. Like, this is not something that we can just take out of the freezer, heat it up, and just say here. The fact that you guys are telling me that you guys are not doing that no more, like I said, it worries me, because now I'm assuming that the quality of food is gonna be, because like I said, you guys gotta realize my position when it comes to movies. If a movie starts at 2:00, it really starts at 2:30, and they've exposed that now. AMC says it now. Anytime you order a movie ticket, just so you know, this movie's gonna start 25 to 30 minutes after the set time. So now I'm already in this mindset where I'm like, I'm coming to the movie later on purpose anyway, because I'm like, oh yeah, the movie's gonna start later. But now I'm thinking, okay, well shit, I'm hungry. Let me go get some food and come back to my seat. I go to the menu and the girl's like, yeah, you get this food, but you gotta wait right here. So now I gotta miss the movie? Whatever. The only reason I didn't make a big deal about it was because I did have a chance when I originally arrived at the movie theater to order the food, but I was just so taken aback by the fact that they took the burgers off that I left. And then I remembered, this is how they get you. You know, when I was telling you guys the example of, if somebody sells a water bottle at, well, I never get this example. Not this one in particular. But this is something that amusement parks do. If we know that once you step into this property, you cannot have access to anything outside, and if we know that we could tell you that you can't bring outside food in here, what are you now forced to do? You're now forced to purchase an item that we sell. Once I locked in on that real fast, I stopped bitching, and I was like, let me just go fuck around and get something else in the menu. Because it's like the moment you say no to your food or no to something, that's the moment you want to get, your stomach just gets overly hungry. Bro, we're having a fly problem in my house, and I'm so confused as to why. Because is it just that hot to where now all of a sudden all these flies just want to keep coming in the nigga room and shit, bro? Like, what's up with y'all? You're kidding me. No, you're absolutely kidding me. Because I have all these goddamn flies in my closet. In my freaking... Oh, yeah. I'm about to kill all y'all. So, guys, I'm having this issue right now, right? Because apparently my room is the get-down center for all these stupid-ass flies. And I'm about to kill each and every one of them literally right here. So don't worry. The moment y'all pop out, I'm on that. I'm on that. What do y'all mean? I'm on that. I'm on that. This is so freaking awkward because now the podcast is forced to hear me literally kill flies. So if you guys are wondering, he wouldn't hurt a fly. Yes, the fuck I would. I would fucking kill a fly with no hesitation, actually. Oh, I'm so annoyed because my dad is sleeping and I don't want to disturb him with all this freaking slapping that I'm doing. So I'm gonna go get the fly swatter. But the best part about it, so damn, the viewers are not going to hear me do this, and so the people that listen they can hear it, but the people watching won't be able to hear me if I leave the room. So I'm not gonna leave the room right now. But just know, your boy's having a freaking fly infestation that I'm getting to the bottom of today. I realize now there has to be something over here that's attracting y'all. Like I understand it now. But essentially, yeah, AMC had the wise idea. AMC South Bay had the wise idea to take all the hot men. The better food options off the menu and leave it to where it's just bullshit, like just regular basic movie snacks. And I'm just like, you guys cannot be a dine-in cinema if this is what you guys are like offering for dine-in options, like respectfully, because like I said, AMC is already expensive. The ticket is already $20 plus, child included, right? So now I'm gonna pay an overinflated price, like and I just felt so bad because in my head I was already knowing. I said, yeah, this might be my last time here. This might be my last time at this theater because not only are you guys raising my monthly, bro, I had to calm down because when your breathing gets regular, it's easy to get a hiccup, and I notice the hiccup is attempting to get me right now. So I'm like, let me calm down, get my breathing right. But not only are you guys trying to raise my monthly price from $25 to now $27. No, not only were you guys trying to raise my price from $27 to $29, now you guys are telling me that they don't have no good food in the fucking theater. Like, There's a chance. Like, there's a chance that I might not let that be enough to stop me. But it's just annoying because, like I said, like, in the days that I do want to get some theater food, I want a burger. Like, fuck, bro. I guess I gotta just sneak my food in all the time. Because, like I said, I'm not really tripping because, like I said, I could easily get I could really go in a movie theater with a whole seafood bowl if I wanted to. But, you know, that's just obnoxious. But now I'm like, you guys are forcing me to be obnoxious because if you guys are not at least going to offer, oh my gosh, I'm so taken aback right now. You're telling me these many of you niggas was in my closet, in my freaking window this whole time, just chilling there. Yo, I don't know what happened. But you know, I can't. They're distracting me too much. But overall, the movie experience was good. I was just annoyed because, like I said, I ended up getting late to the movie because now I had to wait for my food to be done instead of just being able to get my food and walk to the movie, which is normally, like I said, this theater's in particular staple is that, hey, we'll make your food. We'll make the food and then we'll bring it to you, you know, at the table. So, I mean, at your movie, so you could just be chilling and shit. And I always thought that was even cool because it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Nigga gets to just sit here and when food just show it to him. That's dope. But then yeah, so essentially that ended up wasting more time, and then I end up after I finished the movie, finish what I could, I guess, enjoy of the movie, because like I said, I fell asleep, keep it the whole bean. I left there, and you guys know me, on Thursdays it's run club day, so I had to get ready for my run club. And then I went home and started getting dressed. After I got dressed, you guys know the vibes. Yeah, dumbass fly. I don't know why this flies think they're gonna outsmart me. Like, what the fuck? This is so annoying. But yeah, I was gonna say, did I end up? But yeah, so ended up, like I said, ended up getting a freaking what you call it, chicken tenders and mozzarella sticks. The mozzarella sticks was good for like the first two, but then the third one ended up getting like, it started tasting weird. It started tasting like really hard. So that's how I was like, yeah, you guys are giving me frozen fast food, and then now I'm gonna upcharge me $20 fucking for it. So that annoyed me. And then after that, like I said, I ended up going home, getting ready for the run club. So what time did I end up getting to the run club? Because I think I got there a little late. I'm not gonna lie. But let me check with y'all real quick. My fault, y'all. Sorry, this whole freaking fly situation is getting out of hand. So yeah, I was at the South Bay Galleria at 329. Look at this freaking bullshit ass fucking chicken tenders and mozzarella sticks. So much potential lost. Then I end up getting to the run club at 7. So usually they meet up at 7. Well, yeah, they meet up at 7, but I'm usually there like 20 minutes early, or like 5 minutes early at least. Bro, the amount of dead flies that's on my floor right now is actually ridiculous, bro. Like, this doesn't make no sense to me. I've never seen flies come. Like, did somebody die in my room and I just don't know? That's not even funny, honestly, since you say that. But I know there's nothing, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I don't really, nigga don't eat live animals and shit. Everything I eat be already pre-cooked, pre-dead. And I'm not fucking dirty. So, I don't know. They probably heard my fart. Probably smell my fart. That shit did smell like that. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't gonna lie to y'all. Literally, I got 6 fucking dead fucking flies right here. And this is from today, guys. I was nervous to even say it, because I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the spiders took a little break or whatever, but y'all got food, bro. Come and eat these niggas. I'm tired. I'm tired of these guys. Dead homies. Dead homies. Get these niggas up out of here. Get these niggas up out my room. That's another one right there. So then, I make it to the run club at 7. Guys, sorry, because I'm like, I can't do a freaking visual podcast and not be freaking visual. Cannot be not here. Just one of them days, I guess. It's funny because of all the places I thought this podcast was gonna take, this is not where I thought that this episode was gonna take the turn. It's such a skirt. My fault, y'all. Let's get this bitch back on track. So I get to the run club. Start walking there literally at 7:07. Seeing all these baddies, all these beautiful women there, you know. And we start running at 7:29. You guys already know the vibes. And actually, I got some candy too from the movie theater, some Airheads soft chews. They were pretty good. And essentially did my run. It's funny too. I actually had an amazing pace this run. It was 3 miles, 7 minutes 58 pace, 23 minutes 58 seconds moving time overall. And then because your boy, and it's so funny because like I said, I'm probably the only guy that goes to the run clubs and doesn't mingle, that doesn't try to network, doesn't try to make friends and everything. And it was so funny. It's so funny, y'all. I just seen a video yesterday or today where this guy was getting interviewed by this girl, and she was like, "Oh, are you taking any applications for friends or something about like how many friends you have, or are you taking any do you want any new friends? And they was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm at my max capacity for friends. And I'm like, I felt that. I felt the fuck out of that. Like, I'm at the max capacity for like people I know. If we don't know each other anymore, we don't know each other at this point, we probably just only be acquaintances. But I'm at my max capacity for like conglomerates. I told you guys last episode, I literally forgave the person I never thought I was gonna forgive. Once I did that, y'all, that's it. The responsibility is on you guys. I did what I needed to do. I forgave y'all. So if you guys still want to be moving weird, I don't know what more you want from a nigga. Okay, cool. Oh, y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. These freaking flies, man. They really took so much attention from me that I really can't even really focus like I want to focus. But after my run, like I said, I didn't network, so I really was like, okay, shit. I finished what I needed to do. 8:10. Went straight home. Started changing my outfit, and then I headed to the game night. And it's so funny, right? Because that's when, like, being a nigga is such a funny, like, thing in itself, right? Man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. We probably should do the movie review right now, because this weekly recap is gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time. So I'm going to get y'all this movie review out this way, because I didn't really care for the movie anyway. So I might as well just say it, because I'm about to give it to another tangent about the game night. So let's just talk about the movie. So Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Let's start right here, y'all. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. If you guys want to see that movie, exit now. I'm going to say it again. Lee Cronin's The movie. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Spoiler review is about to be talked about right now. Hopefully there's a short on it, and I could just like find like a fast recap on the movie. Yeah, everybody's recap is like, okay, Looper. Cause I'm like, essentially, if it's a what you call it, if it's a brand or if it's a page that already has a lot of clout, that already has like, you know, a lot of, if their audience is big enough, I don't mind stealing their content. But as a buzzing content creator too, Fish Jelly, I feel like that would be, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if we're on the same level, I'm not gonna steal from you. But if we're stealing from corporate, take it from them niggas. So this is Looper. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Looper is a very well-known YouTube channel. So they've been here since November 24, 2015, and they have 5.73 million subscribers. They're not going to care if I, you know what I'm saying, stitch their video to my podcast. So we're going to listen to their video. And it's only 11 minutes, so this I feel like is cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like I said, I'm not telling you guys to go steal people's content and stuff. And I'm sorry that I'm doing it, but this movie, I didn't really care for it, but I feel like I would want to talk about it, but I think you guys need to know the movie before I could talk about it. So this is Lee Cronin's The Mummy explained, and then I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna get into what I felt, my thoughts and opinions about it. Because honestly speaking, I guess before we even get into it, I don't know. I told you guys already like 2 movies ago. I don't know why Hollywood keeps trying to show grotesque, gory things, gory scenes with children. I don't like this. I don't like it at all. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm getting older and just and then maybe it's because I'm around kids. My homies is having kids. I'm like a dad, you know what I'm saying? I'm an honorary dad to the kids that I be around. So when I think of just stuff happening to children, this movie is just, I guess, at the top of my list of like, this is what I would hate for my kid to go through something like this. Because what the fuck are you talking about? And I watched it, so I could tell you guys what I'm saying, what I remember and shit. But I guess let's do it like that then, right? I'll tell you guys what I remember the movie. Overall, I give the movie a 2 out of 5. So let's just get into my review. I give the movie a 2 out of 5. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really like the premise of it. I didn't like I guess that's what it was. I didn't like the story. Pacing, cool. Visually, cool. Like I said, it'll be hard for me to. I guess I can still give it a good score. Visually, it was really good. Pacing was really good. Music, like I said, the ambiance of the movie definitely on point. I think just the fact that they had the little kid, the little girl being the mummified person, was just a little bit too far for me, because I'm just like, if I'm supposed to believe that this could possibly happen in real life, or I'm supposed to believe that this is really happening in the movie verse, you guys are making it very hard for me, bro. You guys are making it very hard for me, fam. Because, bro, we literally start the movie off, it's like, I missed the beginning of it because of AMC. This time, normally, I take accountability for when I'm late to the movies. This time I'm blaming AMC because their new food policy. So that's y'all fault where I'm late to the movie this time. So I didn't get to see the introduction, which is basically them like showing that, because there's a mummy in the family, right? Because I'm like, I guess to explain the movie, you gotta tell the movie. There is this family, and you guys are probably, the visual watchers are probably like, what the fuck is this nigga looking at? I'm looking at this fucking fly, y'all. I'm telling you. I don't have no issue with flies like that, honestly speaking. If it's just one or two flies, I have no issue. The amount of flies that me and my family, my mom in particular, have been dealing with these last couple of days has just been ridiculous. So, it's low-key upping the stuff with these niggas. So, there's a family, let's just put it like this. Your family has been tasked with the responsibility of, let's just, for example, there's a chupacabra that they have to freaking watch. But your family is tasked with this. Like, this is not just a regular task. This is something that has been bestowed upon you guys for generations and generations to come. So, like, essentially, the chupacabra requires a sacrifice or somebody to let the chupacabra take control of them, aka the mummy. This family, I guess, was checking on their mummy, and the mummy happened to be awake. And I guess they knew, okay, if the mummy's awake, we need somebody else to take the mummy's place. Okay. I guess what I didn't like about it was their choice for who they was gonna do it as. I'm just like, realistically speaking, you're telling me that, imagine your homegirl, your daughter's friend, her mother has dubbed your daughter, your daughter's friend's mom has dubbed your daughter as the worthy sacrifice, and you have no fucking, you can't do anything about it, because in reality, they're actually doing a good thing. It's just they're going about it a bad way, because they're keeping the world safe by keeping this demon, this mummy, tamed. It's just like, though, why not use your own peoples? Why not use your own family members? Why not use your own kids or whatever? Like, why'd you have to come and get my daughter? Why'd you have to come and get my kid? Why'd you have to groom my kid like a fucking weirdo with candy? Speaking of candy, the secret word of today's episode is Toots Treasures. Toots. Why you guys come and brought my kid with some fucking candy? I almost repeated myself. We don't ever repeat the secret word on here, y'all. What the fuck am I doing? But yeah, I just couldn't get behind it, because pretty much they would have got away with it too. It wasn't for freaking meddling weather, I guess, because literally, the lady that I'm telling you guys groomed the daughter, right? Pretty much comes to the daughter, is like, hey, hi, nice to see you again. The daughter's like, oh hey, what's up with you? And I think that's what did it for me too. When the daughter's about to get kidnapped, they frame it as the daughter is comfortable enough with this person, but the way the interaction went, you would have thought it was the first time the daughter ever met the lady, right? Because it's like the lady was trying to do her best to get the daughter to trust her. You know what I mean? But it's like, clearly, because like I said, the dad then found the secret stash of candy that this lady's been giving her daughter. This lady has been here a lot. Has been here enough times to be very comfortable with you. Yet, the daughter, for some reason, right? Like I said, she's like on some shit where she's like, oh yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna listen to this lady. But the lady's like, oh yeah, like, I guess the lady does something weird that makes the daughter like feel uncomfortable. And the daughter's like, you know what? I'm cool on it today. I'm out of here. But the lady's like, oh, wait, before you go, I have one more thing for you. She gives her an apple. And out of the apple comes a bug. And the bug crawls up the little girl's arm, and the girl swallows it. Now, like I said, big shout out to Fish and Jelly, because they mentioned it. I don't know about y'all. if a bug is crawling on me and it goes into my mouth, I'm biting the shit out of it. I'm not waiting and letting a bug go in my mouth. Fuck no. And then the whole idea, it was just an extra ass like lead up because you gave her the apple just for her not to eat the apple. The freaking bug comes out. You might as well just give her the bug. And then I was confused too because the lady that was coming here to give her the bug, she looked like she was possessed already. She looked like she was already taking over. So I'm like, it was a lot going on that I feel like they were expecting us to just be okay with. That by the time it got to the point where they let us know that, yeah, the girl has been kidnapped and then she's been gone for 8 years, I was like, yeah, I don't know what y'all want me to, I don't know why we're here anymore because there's no way, fool. There's no way. Even when the daughter got kidnapped, the dad went after her, tried to go find her. All of a sudden, now it's a sandstorm. Then they go to the police station, and the police officer's like, you know, there's a lot of missing kids that happen in this country, and I found most of them. But guess what? When I find them, they're usually already dead. So I didn't know at the time, but he was essentially saying that most of the time when people would be like, oh, someone's missing, the person's either dead, and the person that says they're missing usually has something to do with it. So when the family comes in, they're like, oh, hey y'all, our daughter was kidnapped. The police officer, the head of the police force, he's speaking in Egyptian. He's like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It might have been them. But I guess he didn't do his research, didn't do his due diligence to make sure that they didn't freaking speak their language. That's what the Nigerians used to do to me in Nigeria. They'll always speak Yoruba around me. Not always. It's not just something like, it's usually the ignorant motherfuckers that do this. Because someone that tells you they're Nigerian, you're not going to talk shit about them in Nigerian around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you even risk that? But essentially, they're like, oh, these guys must be tourists. So they start speaking in their native tongue, and they're like, yeah, like, hey, just so you know, I usually be finding out these things, and it usually be them. So the dad is like, you know I can hear you, right? Which I thought was so funny, because it's like, you didn't even make sure the nigga didn't speak your language before you start talking shit about the nigga in front of the nigga? Stupid. But even with this, right? This movie, I checked on IMDb this movie this morning. That shit has a 6.4 on the score. And I'm like, you guys keep giving all these weird ass movies these sixes, but you guys give Mario Kart or the Super Mario movie a 5? What's going on? Like, what is y'all scale? You know what I'm saying? Is it because what? One is for adults, one is for kids? Because that seems to be the only thing. At least, like I said, the Mario movie at least had a cohesive story, a cohesive plot that it followed through the whole movie that I feel like made sense for the setting and the plot and for the time. For the whole time I'm watching The Mummy, I'm just like, in reality, they never would have found your daughter. Like, you guys never would have found your daughter, bro. Like, they kidnapped her. They successfully got her. 8 years has passed. You guys have moved. They were shipping your daughter to another place. She fell out of the sky in a freaking helicopter and landed perfectly down ground. And then they call you guys and they say, hey, 8 years later, hey, y'all, we done found your daughter. You guys get there and they're like, hey, she's been through a lot. Her vitals are good, but she's been somewhere where she hasn't had a lot of light. She's been somewhere where she's been through a lot of things. And it's like, when you see the girl, you're like, nigga, what you're saying does not match what we're looking at, fool. There is no way that any normal, sane parents would look at their daughter, even as much as they love and miss her, and they'd be like, that's a lot. There's a lot to take in. But, you know what I'm saying? There's no love like a mother's love, because essentially they take her in, take her home, and it's just, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if the movie was like meant for it to be funny, but it was just one of these parts where it was just like hilarious because their daughter looks so fragile. They literally get their daughter home, they have her on a wheelchair, and they're literally smacking her each time they take the wheelchair up. And I'm just like, what's going on? And it took a minute. It wasn't like that was like a little quick second. That was like a 2-minute scene where we literally had to see them wheel the daughter up each step, and the daughter's just going click, click, click. And the whole time, bro, like I said, you could just tell. Maybe the parents couldn't tell because they might just not have, they might not be well versed in, death, mummies, curses, which, like I said, I give them a pass. Not everybody's gonna know what to fucking do to when they see a freaking dead person. But, yeah, it was just a lot of grace that I guess we were just supposed to be giving the movie and giving them, that I just feel like, come on, y'all didn't set the platform enough for me to be okay with this. But let's see what Looper has to say about this movie. But yeah, like I said, I give it a 2 out of 5. I definitely wouldn't recommend it, but I feel like niggas should watch it so that way I can know, am I tripping for how I felt about it? Because I feel pretty passionate about how I feel, that I feel like it wasn't a good movie, but everybody's been calling it a good movie.
Monsters, most of them don't actually exist. Frankenstein, Dracula, the creature from the Black Lagoon, you might be scared if you see any of them at a formative age. But younger viewers can rest easy in the knowledge that these characters are fictional.
This one was invented by a writer. It's a total fabrication. It never happened.
That's where the Mummy has a bandaged leg up on the other Universal monsters. Sure, the stories told in the many Mummy movies are made up, but you can't deny that mummies themselves have existed for thousands of years. The mummy Imhotep wasn't resurrected in real life, of course, but he was an actual person in ancient Egypt who lived and died and got mummified. That rhymed. His actual tomb has yet to be found, but that only makes him scarier. He could be anywhere, even under your bed. Lee Cronin's The Mummy aims to inject some bona fide horror back into the Mummy franchise, something that's been sorely missing from the last few decades of action-adventure installments. That said, it's not the only Mummy project on the horizon, as a different Mummy movie, and where the series goes from here.
It's very important you fully prepare yourselves for what you're about to see.
Okay, now
Lee Cronin's The Mummy takes place in its own continuity, separate from the many other Mummy movies that have...
So as Jay said, it takes place in its own continuity. So it's his own universe. So right off the bat, it's his own Mummy verse. So it's not connected to any other movies. So they can't try to use the excuse later on and say, this movie is connected to this movie is... It says it right there. It's his own continuity.
Out since 1932. Like many of the scariest horror films out there, it follows a family in distress, the Cannons, whose trip to Egypt ends in tragedy when their 9-year-old daughter Katie goes missing in the desert, just when they've managed to find some semblance.
So she's 9 years old. 9 plus 8. So she's 17 when they find her. I just feel like they 9 years old. I feel like they I was trying to say, like, did they specifically want her to be 18 years old when she got found? I don't know. You know me, I always be like making weird connections.
Peace 8 years later, they get a call from the US Embassy telling them that she's been found alive and in the most unlikely of places.
What was our daughter doing in a 3,000-year-old sarcophagus?
Great question. When Charlie Cannon and his wife finally reunite with Katie, she looks like, well, she's been trapped inside a giant stone coffin for 8 years. Nevertheless, they take her home, where she proceeds to wreak havoc on her loved ones. One massive, terrifying question remains.
Oh, this was I realize now, that was before. That was what you're supposed to watch before you watch The Mummy. Because I'm like, this is not getting into The Mummy whatsoever. But I don't know if they ever go back and actually speak on The Mummy now that it came out, which they don't. So maybe Looper, they do like the... Yeah. Dang, man. Because I really want to, like I said, I really want you guys to hear some of the stuff that happened in this movie to understand, like, why I find it so weird, But, like I said, without wasting too much time on this, because, like I said, I want to get back to the weekly review, to be honest, it just didn't really resonate for me. I didn't understand, let me see, Lee Cronin's The Mummy Explained. I didn't understand, like, what the point of it was, I guess you could say. Like, it just seemed like a whole... Oh, perfect. A 7-minute video. Chris Stanley. Thank you.
Depop has no selling fees.
Like I said, I don't want to make this... I don't want to take somebody's content. Like I said, that I feel like they put a whole... Like, if somebody's making, like, a 20-minute video, you deserve to watch a 20-minute video. But if it's only 7 minutes, I feel like we could react to that together. You know what I'm saying? It's not too much. Someone even said in the comments, it's like Evil Dead Egypt. Yes, because if you ever seen the Evil Dead movie, that's what it reminds me of.
Cronin's The Mummy. I've done my review, but I had to be very vague about it because I didn't want to give away spoilers. And one of the biggest gripes I had was the ending and just explaining a little bit too much, showing a little too much where I feel like, you know, wrapped it up 10 minutes earlier. And obviously that's a very punny choice of words, wrap things up. And my thoughts are still the same in regards to my thoughts on the film. I thought it was a valiant effort, though it just got a little bit convoluted and lost and just went on for a little bit too much. I understand as well,
Bro, on top of that, the movie was 2 hours long. This movie could have been freaking wrapped up in an hour 45 minutes tops.
And trying to do something different, like a different take on the Mummy. I can only imagine how hard that must be to come up with that concept, whilst also maintaining,
you know. And that's when I'm like, you know, I do gotta give I do gotta give creators some grace, because that I think that's really just the issue. How do you make something original for something that's already been done many times, bruh? You right. Like, the movie The Mummy, or The Mummy, the concept of The Mummy is something that's already been I guess you could say, well explored, and you still wanna, that's what I'm saying. I keep getting so scared, y'all, because I'm worried. I'm really worried. Like, are we just gonna get to the point where, you know how the older generation, how we just been remaking all their movies? Is it gonna get to a point where the newer generation is gonna be remaking all of our remakes? Like, are we just gonna be remaking remakes forever? Oh my god. I hope we don't I'm scared. Like, I'm genuinely worried, because I would hate for a freaking movie. Like, I might not even watch movies no more if they do shit like that. And I'm saying that because, like I said, like, for me, even when it's bad, like, I just love just new stuff. That's why I feel like I fucked with the drama. What was it? What other movie I messed with that I feel like a lot of people didn't like? I fucked with They Will Kill You Too. Oh, there was a movie in particular that I remember I seen, even Fish did it was not fuck with. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, that movie kind of, like, I liked what they did with it. Bro, I'm telling y'all, these freaking flies, bro. Freaking flies, man. Freaking flies, man. What? Never did I just... Because I do have a fridge in here, y'all, so... I'm like, don't tell me the heat of the fridge is, like, attracting you niggas or something. You know, like I said, I don't keep no food in the fridge anyway. I don't keep no fucking live meals in here. Everything in my fridge is frozen. I just have soda, which I'm running out of, actually, and stuff, so... But yeah. Nah. We're good here, guys. We're good. We're safe. But yeah, like I said, I just hope we don't get to a point where every movie is just a remake of another movie, because I ain't gonna lie, that's gonna be so freaking boring, bro. Especially when, like I said, like, we keep realizing you guys can't remake them the same way, you know? But yeah, let's continue listening to this movie review for
the basic structure and DNA of what makes these Mummy films The Mummy. But I wanted to do an ending explain. And it's just essentially me doing verbal diarrhea on the ending, because obviously I couldn't in my spoiler-free review. And I felt it had a lot of potential just to end on a note where it was sweet, it was somber.
Big shout out to, let me shout this guy out. Chris Stanley Official. Like I said, I'm only using your video because it's under 8 minutes, gang. So, you know, I'm giving you a big shout out, bro.
Back to what we saw at the beginning of the film and setting things up at the beginning of the film. Now, this goes without saying, there's going to be a massive spoiler warning for you guys if you haven't seen the film yet. I know it came out a couple of days ago officially, so it's going to be doing the rounds this weekend and people are going to be seeing it. So if you haven't watched it yet, please go watch it, come back and check this video out if you want. Or if not, well, good on you. So in the third act of the film, Benny has got some treasure and he dumps it on a camel and realizes he has to go back and get more. Rick and Evelyn... No, I'm just joking. Good movie. So we see at the beginning of the film that Katie is abducted by quote-unquote the magician. Now, this is like a family thing. It's a ritual to essentially keep the demon at bay with a host. And then once that host is expired, they then get a new host, and then the demon is passed on to that host. And essentially, using children, it has a longer shelf life of keeping this demon at bay until it eventually...
So, that right there, right? So I guess they're using children because it can last longer. That's so fucked up. But it's like, damn, it makes sense. But it's like I said, you guys want to use your neighbor's kid, your daughter's friend's kid. That's so fucked up. But if that's the logic they're going by, I can't argue with that because that does make sense.
Naturally dies. Now, the name of the demon is the Nazarenian, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I knew we'd get to a point of the film where we needed a massive hit of exposition dumping. Now, I also said one of my biggest gripes is the jumping back and forth between Cairo and New Mexico. But I did like the scenes in Cairo, back in Cairo, with the cop by the name of Dahlia, and it was cool to see her come back into the fold. And she has a videotape. She brought a videotape that has the label Katie on it, and this is essentially our big hit of exposition dumping. We've got the parents, Charlie and Larissa, there, and they watch the tape, and essentially it has this creepy vibe to it. I think anything filmed on like an old tape like that, it's on VHS, there's just this weird snuff film approach to it. But you essentially see Katie being hovered over a sarcophagus with a dead body, and then the demon is transferred into her body, and then they wrap her up with all the hieroglyphics on it, and then she's placed in the sarcophagus. And essentially that's just how the cycle continues, and the family and the magician keeping the entity, the demon, at bay until it eventually dies. Now, when the shit gets going, at the climax of the film, we see Katie like ripping off all the bits, the hieroglyphics.
The worst part of the
like
movie.
Skinned looking.
Worst part of the movie, I'm telling you, like I said, having a little girl be the one doing all this grotesque stuff, it just was so uncomfortable, bro. Like, there's literally a scene where they're cutting her toenails, and the toenail literally rips off a whole piece of her skin. The little girl, for some reason, wants to scratch it, and literally gets a freaking, like, stick and is scratching herself, bro. I'm just like, what are we watching, bro? What are we watching, bro?
That's what I loved about this film. It's typical Lee Cronin fashion of just like getting under your skin, of the effects and the gore, and just like it just makes your blood curdle. So I really loved that approach. But then we see the brother getting possessed, and then also the younger sister getting possessed. She's like ripping her teeth out, and she like climbs into her dead grandma's coffin and puts her fake teeth in. Just really weird, twisted shit. One thing I do love is that they set up Charlie's almost absence. Even though he's obsessed with finding out what happened to Katie, he's also withdrawing. And at the end, he ultimately makes that sacrifice to transfer the demon from Katie into him. And that is the ultimate sacrifice as a parent. He's going to become the new host of this demon. So we see the demon transferred into Charlie, and then he becomes the new host. And he's scarred, he's disfigured, and then we also see Katie has recovered, but she is covered in scars, and she's getting to know her brother and her sister once again. And there's this nice little sequence, and this is where I feel the film just should have wrapped it up, called it a day. Katie is downstairs in the basement. She's with her mum, and also her dad is in a sarcophagus in the basement. Now, they also set up at the beginning of the film Charlie teaching Katie Morse code. You know, the tap, 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 tap. We see Katie with the sarcophagus, and she's doing Morse code tapping on the top of the sarcophagus. There's a bit of a pause, and then you hear a tap back. And Larissa asked Katie, what did he say? And she said, he loves me. And I feel when they went upstairs, switched off the light, the sarcophagus is still there, the film should have ended. I thought that was really sweet. It was a somber one, but no. We had to keep going. The magician is still alive after I thought she had been shot dead by Dahlia. And it was one of those things, like I said in my review, it felt like a tacked on, reshoot additional photography, like additional footage that they wanted to tack on, but also felt like a mid or post-credit scene you'd see in a Marvel film where you find out Skippy McDippy is indeed still alive. But yeah, the magician is indeed still alive. Larissa and Dahlia sneak in. Larissa actually sedates her. And it's by surprise, she didn't know who it is, and then she is essentially paralyzed. We see Dahlia wheel a mummified Charlie in, who's, clinging to life, and essentially they're going to pass on the demon from Charlie back to the magician. So like the circle is complete. And for that, it's going to work for some people. For me, I just didn't need to see that. And it's just one of those things of, we didn't know the magician was alive. I thought she was dead. And I just felt it was 10 minutes too long. You could have wrapped things up perfectly just with that nice little moment between Katie and Charlie, even though there's a sarcophagus separating them. He's still in there somewhere, even though the demon has inhabited the body, the vessel. Just still the fact that he can tap back, I love you too. I think that's just such a sweet ending. When that extra scene happened, I was like, I don't know, is that necessary? I get the idea of, the circle is complete, it's come back around, what goes around comes around. For everything that the magician had done and, hurting the family, hurting Katie, putting her through absolute misery. And there you go, guys, that is the ending explained. I hope I explained somewhat decently of Lee Cronin's.
Like, literally, that's why I was like, I just was lost, y'all. I was just lost in the sauce, and I couldn't get back into it. So, for me, I ain't gonna lie, Lee Cronin's The Mummy gets a 2 out of 5. Do not recommend it unless you want to be confused and you don't want to, like I said, if you want to see a good movie, go see They Will Kill You. Go see the drama. There's a bunch of good movies out right now that are definitely worth seeing over that. If you want to go see The Mummy, I feel like you should wait till that one comes to home theaters. But then yeah, back to the weekly recap. So after I finish my run club, I end up going home and I go change. And then once I change, I head out to the game night. It's so funny because, like I was saying earlier, being a guy is so interesting because the person that invited me to the game night is a woman. So she already kind of let me know that it's going to be her place. So naturally, when I pulled up, I was not going to do any walking on no property till I seen the host. Like, that's just how I am as a guy. And like I said, I don't know. It just keeps me safe and keeps me careful. So as I'm standing outside, I heard a party going on, or I heard the vibes. And I say party because it wasn't like no big party, but I hear the vibes going on inside, and I'm waiting out there, and I'm like, okay, I texted the host, they haven't responded, I'm going to wait till the host gets back to me. Essentially, someone else pulls up that's also here for the game night, and is like, oh, like, you here for the game night? And I'm like, yeah, I'm here for the game night. And they're like, did you knock the door? Did you do anything? I'm like, but the person that pulls up is a girl. So I'm like, no, like, what do you mean? Like, I'm looking at her like she's the weirdo. Like she's off, sort of telling me to do that. I'm like, knock the door at this time with this skin color, sis. You're funny. Even though I'm in pajamas, even though I don't look like a fucking threat, just knowing that I'm a guy, I feel like, nah, I have to wait for the host, who is a woman, to come and acknowledge me out here first and give me permission, like on some sinner shit. She needs to give me permission to let me in the house first. No, this girl is they're closer than me, of course, obviously, because she was like, no, okay, I'm about to, like, she literally went to the door, seen the door was open, was like, you didn't even check? And in my head, I'm like, no, what do you mean I didn't check? I'm not supposed to check. Like, oh my gosh, even just saying, I'm just like, man, must be nice to think what you just did was okay, because like I said, after all of the freaking true crime videos I watch, man, that just seemed like a recipe for disaster. You're telling me it was open and you just walked up to it and you just went inside? Yeah, officer. Yeah, it was open. The door was open. I let myself in. Yeah, jail. So I let her lead. I'm like, well, shit, since you're comfortable leading, be my guest. So we end up getting inside, and immediately once we get inside, giving a shot. My type of vibe, because I'm like, okay, I didn't know I was gonna be. I know they was gonna warm us up to it, or we gonna get right to it. But literally, we get right to it. It's a good night. We played a good amount of games. I tried to play Connect 4, but it was a different type of Connect 4, so we didn't really play that. We played Cup Pong. I freaking was terrible at that. Yeah, I'm not good at Cup Pong, so shout out to Saru, because I know my nigga Saru, he really got the skills. And I was drinking beer, and I freaking was like, never again. Like, I literally felt like the beer was adding on pounds to my stomach as I was drinking it. We played a a cup flipping game that was really dope. And what else did we play? There was a game where we played and we had to like judge the teams. But essentially, it was a really good game night. Essentially, I had a freaking blast, man. I had a good ass time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were just all really just vibing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it was just like I said, for me in particular, I was just really excited, or I guess you could say happy, because part of me be feeling like I said, I don't really make that many new friends. So when I get invited to stuff, I really take it to heart, because I'm like, yeah, like, you guys didn't even have to reach out to me, but you did, because if you guys didn't, I probably would have been in the house. So I really am thankful and grateful for even the invite, because when it's people I know, I'm always gonna pull up. It's just, you know, it's just hard for me to, like I said, make the new connections. But the old connections, I want to keep those strong, and like, if anything, I want to make them stronger. So essentially, that's how my Thursday went. Then on Friday, like I said, no work or nothing, so just woke up and was like, what should I do this Friday? What did I end up doing? Did I even go work out on this Friday, bro? Because knowing me, yes, I did go work out. Dead homies. So essentially, I left the event. Oh, before I even get there.
Listen, I come from a place where people move strong, different backgrounds, but we all get along.
So first off, before I even get into the rest of my Friday, tell me why I had to make a rap for my my online class. So if you guys don't know, I'm in 3 classes right now: 30/40 Research Methods of Psychology, 40/30 Child Maltreatment, and then 46/50, which is Multicultural Psychology. So Multicultural Psychology, like I told you guys last week's episode, there was something going on between me and the TA, because the TA was saying that I was using AI, but the only AI I was using was Grammarly. And essentially, I was just like, I'm Nigerian, bro. Like, if you think I'm, just look at I was like, just look at my work. I'm a multicultural person, so just look at the type of effort that I'm putting in. But then, yeah, so one of the assignments was like to make a multicultural, I guess, use your form of expression, but make it multicultural. So me, I'm a fucking rapper. I was gonna say, what a surprise! But nah, I'm a rapper. I make music, so naturally I was like, oh, I'm finna make a rap song. So essentially, I woke up early on Friday, and I couldn't get out of my head. I'm like, I know it's, like I'm telling you, I don't like doing homework on the weekends. For me, homework should be done Monday through Friday. By the time Saturday comes on, it's we outside. We turning up. Like, my student brain, in reality, my student brain is off on Thursdays, because most college campuses, well, like I said, for me, ever since I started going to college, started going to Southwest, my classes was only up till Thursday. I never had a Friday class. I never had a weekend class. So once I got to college, the whole idea of Monday through Friday left me. I was convinced, yeah, once the college is just Monday through Thursday. So in actuality, by the time Friday gets around, I don't even want to be thinking about freaking school or anything no more. So I wake up on Friday because I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get this shit done, you know. It's not due till Thursday, but I'm like, nah, I want to get it done. And it's a big assignment. So I wake up, get my bars together, and then, you know, I come up with a rap. And it was so good, in my opinion, that I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this rap today's TikTok. So you guys know me. I drop a TikTok every day, Monday through Sunday. So I was like, oh shit, I'm finna make my TikTok for today. Oh my gosh, y'all. I must have been too excited. I've been really careful this whole podcast. I've been freaking out the hiccups. So yeah, I'm trying to calm down so I can let it leave and shit again. But yeah, so essentially, I woke up and I was like, I seen my twin was up the street from me, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna pull up on my nigga. But I was like, let me pull up on my nigga after I'm done my homework assignment. But at the same time, I also was texting my other homies, Honcho, Biggs, and my nigga Drewski, my nigga Ewan. And I was also texting them because we have a workout group chat that I'm in right now. So they were at the gym and they were telling me I should pull up. And my nigga Donald was telling me I should pull up on him, you know, go landscape. But I was like, I'm gonna try to go, you know, work out because I want to get this gym session in type shit, you know. and I'm gonna go landscape with my nigga after. Or in reality, I was gonna try to go do a short gym session and then go landscape with my nigga. But essentially, by the time when I went to go to the gym session, them niggas was like, bro, once you're here, you might as well do the whole gym session, bro. You're not finna go leave the session halfway to go hang out with your homie. That's gay. I was like, you know what? It's not gay, but you guys are right. While I'm here, I might as well finish this workout. So that's the only reason that I didn't leave the workout. But essentially, before I even got there, I had to make a rap, or I made a rap. This is the rap.
Say do, and then this is my attempt, or this is my submission for the real world assignment for my multicultural psychology class. Let's do this. Yeah.
Listen.
So I'm like, listen, I come from a place where the people move strong. Different backgrounds, but we still get along. Culture shaped me, and that's part of my view. The way that I speak and the things that I do. Multicultural psych made me think a little deeper. Some people smile, but the bias runs deeper. Stereotypes spread, and they travel so fast. Judging whole groups from the pain of the past. Race and identity play roles every day. Who gets hurt and who gets pushed away. Some get privileged and some got struggle. Some gotta work through twice of the struggle. Gender roles tell people stay in a box. Act too different than they watch what they talk. Immigration stories filled up with the pain. Still people build lives and push through the rain. Language and family shape who we become. Values get passed from the old to the young. Some people learn hate and think that's the truth. Then pass it right down minds of the youth. But learning can change when things get shown. That's how respect and awareness is grown. We all got layers, nobody's one thing. Different life paths, different pain that we bring. We all got layers, nobody one thing. Different life paths, different pain that we bring. Intersectionality, it opened up my eyes. People face more than one struggle in life. Listen more close. If we want change, we gotta start with the facts. Listen more close and watch how we act.
But essentially, that was the assignment, and as you can see, I'm pretty sure I aced that motherfucker. I'm looking at the shade. I'm like, what happens to my tooth? Whole time, the darkness just got that shit looking like it's cricket. But yeah, whole time I feel like I really aced that assignment. I think I did a really good job because not like that. I freaking racked my ass off, and you know what I'm saying? I'm proud of myself. I really feel like I really did my thing. You know what's funny? I made my dad a burger yesterday. Maybe that's why he was calling me, cause he called me and I was like, oh shit, dang. I know he's gonna keep it real. He probably didn't like that burger that much, cause my dad, cause I told him, I said keep it a bean with me. Keep it a bean with me. Like, let me know like if you like it or not and stuff. So, and he told me he was. So, you know what I'm saying? That's actually hilarious. But then yeah. So after I did that, I went to the gym with my nigga Honcho, with my nigga Bix, with my nigga Drew. Yeah. Because I was like trying to make sure I wasn't tripping. And then after my gym session, you know what I'm saying, I was feeling myself. So I was like, you know what? I deserve some Tev's Kitchen. So I went to Tev's Kitchen. I'm saying this because I really fuck with my nigga Tev, but I don't know why they do this to my order. It's always that. I don't want to say it like that because it's not personal. But I think just because this is not me. This is not a critique for the restaurant or anything. I think it's just in particular when niggas are doing orders, y'all just gotta be more aware and shit. Because I ordered a catfish plate, but I got double mac and cheese, and I substituted the macaroni, the mashed potatoes for rice because I just feel like, I don't know, rice, mac and cheese, catfish with some stew. I'm gonna put some stew on at home. it was just, oh my god, I had a vision, you know what I'm saying? I had a vision for it. And like I said, I just know the mashed potatoes is not going to be enough. Like, cause like I said, I'm having 2 mac and cheese. I need some rice with this fish, cause I'm Nigerian, so like I'm thinking of a Nigerian meal. So that's how I make it to a Nigerian meal. So I go pick it up, and normally, like I said, I double check, or not normally. I'm supposed to be from now on. Like I said, I told myself ever since I lost my little boo boo, I was gonna double check all my meals. But it's Tev's Kitchen. This is my nigga. Like I don't really feel like I even have to like second guess, because either way, even if they got my whole order wrong, I still would eat it because I know the food would be good. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of shit it is. Like, I'm more so complaining because I just didn't want the mashed potatoes today. I'm not complaining because the mashed potatoes isn't good. The mashed potatoes was delicious. Best believe. I took that plate home, seen the mashed potatoes. I was hurt, but I ate it, finished it, and then added my own rice on it. So I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, I can't really complain too much, because the only thing that they charged me for was the mac and cheese. They made sure to give me that. So as long as I'm getting what I'm paid for, or what I paid for, I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the substitution of the mashed potatoes for the rice, that's free of charge. So that could just be a mistake. But if they was to charge me for the mac and cheese and then still give me the vegetables and the cabbage, man, that's when I had, you know, because I try my best not to be the type of guy that uses my connections to, you know, put myself in a higher position. But when it comes to food, I become like that. When it comes to food, best believe I'm using my position. Best believe I'm using my connections to help me in my position. Because I'm like, maybe, just maybe, they're getting into my room off of this little ass pocket. But then I'm like, spiders, can y'all come over here and start doing y'all job? You know what I'm saying? Put some more webs down here so that way these motherfuckers get caught up and shit. Because these niggas think they slick. I'm so confused. Like, why are y'all still in my room? You would think I opened the door already. The window is open. Like, bruh, leave. You finna make me mess up my freaking window. Stupid ass fucking fly. Ah, fucking hit my finger. Damn. That's what I get for being ugly. But then, yeah. So essentially, after I got my Tev's Kitchen, came home, literally tore that up. Bro, I'm looking at the picture of it right now. It looks so fucking delicious. And then that was pretty much it for my day. Because honestly speaking, I took a nap because the Tev's Kitchen hit so good, your boy was done for. So I took a nap, and then ate some ice cream and ended my night. On Saturday, it was actually the R&B party that my nigga Huncho was hosting, so I was definitely looking forward to that. Essentially, I woke up, you know, Saturdays is still for the run club, so, you know, that aspect don't have to change. So I woke up, got ready for my run club, went to my run club. I was actually late, not surprisingly, but I was a little late, and I hustled quickly enough to get to the run. After the run, we went to Bluestone Lane, so shout out to Bluestone Lane. Even on the run itself, I ain't gonna lie, the drinking from Thursday was definitely catching up to your boy on that Saturday, because, or in the during the run at least, because we get there, we do our stretches, we start running, everything's cool, but literally, like I said, on the way there, it was all cool. I think it was just me trying to keep my pace up without fully getting myself into homeostasis, because essentially I probably could have kept running, but I never got my bearings really good, and I just kind of like, it just took off and shit. So that way, so by the time I was trying to come back, because usually when we run, we do like 20 minutes out, 20 minutes back. I usually pace myself very nicely, and I usually pride myself on that. But this time around, I ain't gonna lie, I was low-key running out of breath, and I wanted to stop, and I did stop. And I'm not gonna lie, I was proud of myself for doing it, because, you know, sometimes, you know, I beat myself up on trying to be so physically able at doing stuff that, like, I don't give myself grace to, like, you know, relax a little bit. But it was one of those things where, like I said, I think it was just me being in my head, me just not physically, like I said, I didn't get enough sleep, all that stuff. I'm just like, it's probably playing a part into the run, and I was beating myself up. So overall, I still finished it good. Still did 4.5 miles, or 4 point something miles. And then we ended up going to Bluestone Lane. Like I said, still had a pretty decent pace. Anything less than 10 for me is a decent pace. I tell you guys this all the time. Still had a really decent pace. Went to Bluestone Lane, and I got myself the Bluestone burrito, but I substituted it with chicken because they have pork in their burrito. Got it with chicken, and I got a PB peanut butter and jelly smoothie that literally had peanut butter and jelly in it with protein. They make a good protein smoothie. I give you that because, well, like I said, I really do feel like I gotta give the credit to the peanut butter because that shit was really sweet, but it was really good. Protein filled is like a blueberry. I'm sorry, y'all. I think I might really be having some allergies or something right now because my left nostril keeps dripping. I keep having to cough up mucus, and even with that, I'm still showing up for y'all. Come on now, who you know doing this out here? But then after that, right, we went to the Bluestone Lane. I made my TikTok, hit the bong, you feel me? Landscape with the bong, you feel me? I don't think my parents will know exactly what that is when I say that. I hope not. But I head home, I ate my food, and then I purchased my pictures for my graduation. So they haven't got here yet. So when they get here, I'm going to basically show you guys. But last week's episode, I already showed you guys what they look like. So if you want to see what my graduation photos, you know what I'm saying, you want to preview, go fuck with it. Go fuck with it. Last week's episode 41, you know what I'm saying? I showed you guys on that episode. But I paid for them last week, Saturday. I got my fit ready for the night, for the, for the R&B. Essentially what I wore was, I went Boohoo Man on the jacket. I went Billionaire Boys on the shirt. I came Alfred Eden on the shorts. BB Simmons on the belt. Hilfiger on the socks. And I went McQueen on the shoes. You know what I'm saying? So, your boy was looking pretty fly, pretty nice. I was feeling myself. You guys don't know this, but I've been saving. I have a lot of new clothes that I haven't worn yet because I just haven't felt like I found the right event, you know, because I'm very bougie. I need to be acknowledged for what I'm wearing. So I'm purposely waiting to wear these certain fits. Like I got some Kasubi jeans that I wore only once, and I've been waiting to wear them again because I feel like I didn't get the right reaction when I wore it that day. I didn't get the right reaction for that fit. I came RTA, BB Simmons, Kasubi, Rick Owens. Like I came R to R, RBKR. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, fool. And I didn't get acknowledged. I gotta run that fit back. But then, yeah, took my nap, woke up after, man, landscaped, headed out to the event, came solo. You know, shout out to my nigga Devin. You know, usually my +1, but I don't know what he had going on this weekend. But you know, that's my nigga. But I'm like, he's a grown man. Can't force him to come to the event with me. But he definitely knew, like, if he was available, I wish he would have been there because it went up. And it was so funny because literally when I got there, I probably couldn't have got there at a better time besides getting there later, in the sense of like just getting there when the party starts, because when I got there, it was still, you could still see the venue. You know what I mean? Like, it was still enough room for people to like be like, okay, like, yeah, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I got there an hour late, it started at 5, I got there at 6, but in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm about to walk into when it's just beginning. Nah, man. You know, black people, we like to pop out late, let's get the party started late, because literally, I can't even, like, I'm like, let me even look at this freaking camera roll of when the party freaking really started. Yeah, I got there like 6:37, I'm landscaping, I'm looking at my fit. Oh, I actually came Kasubi on the jeans too, I forgot. I didn't wear my jean shorts. Originally, I was going to wear the jean shorts, that's what ended up happening. Man, my outfit was so nice that day. So, like I said, the only thing that I do regret too, I should have pre-landscaped. I should have prepared before I get in there because I know myself. I'm able to landscape on the go, but I'm much more, I yield better results when I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't appreciate the fact that I wasn't prepared, but I'm still proud of myself, like I said. Handled the night how I was supposed to handle the night. You know what I mean? And yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Me and my boys was outside, man. I was with my nigga Cyru, bro. You know what I'm saying? And man, I ain't gonna lie, your boy was getting checked out. I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but I just know that, hey, that was with the kid. You feel me? And it's just so much. There was just so much going on. Oh my gosh! I'm looking at these videos like, what was I doing here? Then at freaking, yeah, my nigga Ruchi said, yeah, go get some more drinks, man. Let's take it there. Because I got myself something at 7:59. Rucci was like, you want something to drink? That's my nigga. I was like, yeah. He was like, go get some Henny and orange juices. I said, oh, my God. So then after, literally, we're all vibing, the party's over and stuff, but the party's not really over until we leave, you feel me? At 10:20, we still walking out. Then by 10:40, man, polisa, amigo. By 10:40, we're actually outside the venue. So at 10:40, we outside the venue, and we chilling and stuff, we doing our thing. Man, life is funny how it happens. And essentially, because I'm a fucking big back motherfucker, and one thing about it, if I go outside in these areas in particular, I'm leaving with something. I had to double back to freaking Fat Sal's. Big shout out to Fat Sal's. But literally, due to me going to Fat Sal's, it put me back more on the freeway, and then I ended up dealing with a whole bunch of traffic. And when I ended up seeing what happened on traffic, it looked like there was a car on fire. So shout out to the firefighters and shout out to the police officers that took care of that. But y'all had to shut the freeway down, had to take a different exit. I literally got home at like 1:46 and was watching SpongeBob. That's how freaking lit I was. Didn't finish my food, y'all. I didn't finish my freaking fast house till 2 days later, bro. I'm usually a 1 day leftover type of guy. But the liquor won on Saturday. So I forgot to purchase my homie's ticket. Forgot to purchase my twin's ticket to his fight because my twin had a fight this Sunday on the 19th. So I woke up thinking, okay, cool. I had a good night. All I gotta do now is send this nigga the money, chill out to the fight later, and I'm set. Bro, no. You know, it's Caduce. It could never be that easy. Like, if it was that easy, I wouldn't enjoy it. If it was that easy, it wouldn't be fun. Because essentially, I hit him up. I'm like, hey, twin, I'm done for, but I'm pulling up to the fight. Let me send the money. I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just figure something out later. He was like, brother, I ain't gonna lie, I need cash only. And I know right now he's not whipping right now. So I was like, oh, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm fucked up, bro. And I gotta get in the car, drive to you. Bro. Even thinking about it is getting me tired. Because I was so done for that day. But it's eventually, because I'm like, he had a time that he had to go, and I'm like, bro, I gotta get this ticket because I just was gonna feel really shitty if I knew that the only reason I didn't go to my nigga's fight was because I went out the night before, when I knew about the fight before I knew about the night out, you know what I'm saying? And just overall, you know, in the sense of just supporting people, I feel like me texting him that morning, telling him I was gonna get the ticket, and then I did not get the ticket, I didn't want that to be something I'd be in the back of his mind, like, damn, my twin said he was gonna show up, but he didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to throw him off his game. I'd much rather him be in the mindset of thinking, yeah, all my people is showing up, I'm finna show out for them, instead of thinking, dang, my nigga not showing up. Not saying that I would even take that much space in his brain, but I was just like, nah, that'd be fucked up if I said I was gonna come and I didn't come because what? I don't feel like driving right now. The fuck? Like, you could have got the ticket yesterday when he was literally telling niggas get the ticket yesterday. Like, he's like me. He's like, don't make excuses when you had all the chances to do something. You feel me? Which is true. That's 100. So, I don't know how I did it. I freaking closed my eyes for like 30 minutes or like a couple minutes, and I was like I said, the guilt was just eating me up because I was like, yeah, this is not a real enough reason. Get some strength. Drink some water. Get some electrolytes. Get the strength, and I'm like, okay, fuck that. Yeah, you're right, Caduce. You got to fucking go, pull up on your homie. I get the strength, and then as I'm on the way to my nigga, I realize I left my wallet. And guess what? The ticket is $60. Mind you, Rucci had just gave me $60 cash yesterday, so it's not even like I didn't have it. I just didn't have it with me because my ass was so, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, poor planning leads to poor execution. I'm always going to be quick to take accountability in that aspect because I'm knowing that if I had been more prepared, I would have been able to really chill. But essentially, it's Sunday. It's fucking Sunday, guys. Just to give you guys an idea of like the situation. It's Sunday. I had to go to downtown LA. So all the downtown LA buildings are like indoor buildings. So an ATM or a bank, which is going to be very, very difficult to like access right now. And I have Chase, so Chase is they punish you when you go to other banks and shit, or you go to other ATMs to get cash. So I'm already knowing I'm not going to no random ATM to take no $60 out, because I know these niggas gonna charge me $12 or however much money they charge you to freaking get money from other freaking bank accounts. I mean from an ATM. So I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that, but I'm like, I need this cash, bro. So I find a Chase, and being that I'm such in a rush, I'm not taking my time to like really do anything. I don't even take the time to check that the freaking ATM or the one I went to was an indoor one and that it was closed. So I pull up there, I'm confused. I'm like, oh shit. I'm damn near finna blame the GPS. Like, why you ain't tell me this shit was closed? I checked the GPS, it said it was closed. So I'm like, oh, that's on me. So before I left, I remember I'm like, wait a minute. If this is Chase, then they have to have ATMs outside this motherfucker. So I walk around for a little bit. I check on the Google Maps. And I'm like, okay, cool. Do they have ATMs here? Luckily, they do. I walk around for a little bit. I eventually find the ATM. I get the cash and I pull it back on my nigga. And then give him the cash. And then I go home and I basically chill out because the fight isn't till 4 or something. But like I said, I'm just so done for today, you know, that like everything I'm doing is last minute. So I come back home and I get my fit ready and everything, and I attempt to like take a nap and stuff. Everything that up until that part was cool, except for when I wake up and it's actually time for me to go to the fight, and my ass was just late. I ain't gonna lie, I was just running late and just like kind of just discombobulated. You feel me? But eventually I do get to the fight, and I literally get there at the mid-second round, and I literally see my twin locked in. He's serving the guy. Why just hiccups? Why do the hiccups want to get me so bad? Like, dang, I know how to breathe. Eventually, I get to the fight. I get there mid-second round. My twin is doing his thing. He's locked in, doing his shit. I'm enjoying the fight. I got there too late to get a seat, so I'm just standing there, right? So after that, the third round starts. I make sure to get his attention. He sees me. We locked eyes and everything, so it was like, cool. I don't know if I was the reason. You know what I mean? I would like to give myself some credit. My nigga started going crazy. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. I'm sorry, y'all. My body is functioning today. It's functioning a lot more than I expected it to. But, essentially, you know. Oh, and shout out to Dirt Dog, too, because the fight was also sponsored by Dirt Dog. So, once I get there, I don't know what it is. Maybe I just feel a little lucky or whatever. But I always tell myself, I say, anytime I watch my twin, he doesn't lose. So I just knew I had to show up to this fight. And then I show up there, he wins, and I'm thinking, okay, cool. Then we done? No. They were actually trying to watch the rest of the fights, and I'm like, oh, I'm really just here for you. And that's kind of when I knew. I said, yeah, I'm not really like a fight watcher. Like I watch it, but like if there's a reason behind it, and the reason behind it was my homie. So once that was over, that was cool. I was low-key could have like, I was like, okay, yeah, I call it a day here. I could wrap it up here. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I hit up somebody, and I'm like, you know, essentially, I just hit up someone. I just go hang out with them for the rest of the night. We're not gonna talk too much about that, guys. Just know that that's what I did for the rest of my night. The person that shall not be named, but shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I end up going back to my crib, and then I call it a night for that. So that's how my Sunday ends. I pretty much just went to go see my twin fight. Oh, got some fire-ass carne asada fries in them, too. So shout out to Dirt Dog, because I'm like, I feel like it's not very often that places know how to make carne asada fries, but they definitely knew what they were doing. So then, yeah, I go there, get my carne asada fries, and I call it a day. And I already done my homework for the weekend, so your boy was not even tripping about nothing. So then Monday, I was going to go on Monday. That's why it's so funny, because I'm like, dang, I guess, essentially, I was going to do something, because it's like, hey, if I talk about it, I kind of got to talk about it, right? Alright, so, let's put it like this. I met somebody, right? Because I'm like, I think that's enough for me to say without saying too much. I met someone who I want to attempt to pursue right now, and due to that, I was going to do something single, right? I was at first on Monday. I was planning on doing like some single shit, which was going to Disneyland. If you guys know, I have a pass. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, don't have to go into too much history here, but just know if you want to find out why, go listen to episode 38. In between, it's somewhere in the 30s where I talk about how I got a Disney pass. But essentially, I was planning to go to Disney. You know what I'm saying? Low-key, go up on myself. But now that I, you know what I'm saying, low-key met somebody, I feel like I had to kind of change that idea, because one thing about me, like I said, I told you guys already on here, I feel like when you're single, it's different. You can kind of spend, you know, without really thinking like that. But when you, as a guy at least, you know what I'm saying, when you a guy and you a provider, I feel like you don't get that same freedom. So I feel like I had to kind of like, at least till we see what ends up happening with this new chapter, because now we're already in a new chapter, but a sub chapter just opened within this chapter, and now it's affecting the overall chapter. Now I kind of had to see what happens with that sub chapter, because like I said, y'all know me, y'all know how I do. I'm very big on convenience. I'm very big on this, but I don't feel like it would be right for me to, like I said, I don't. Pretty much, like I said, I was gonna go to Disneyland on Monday, but part of me was like, I don't need the person that I just started talking to thinking that this is a normal thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like a nigga just wake up and just be like, we just go to Disneyland and shit, and then I end up having to do that for them. Which, and then like I said, I don't like just letting everybody just know that much business about me anyway. You feel me? So I didn't even want to. Essentially, I was just like, yeah, this might be the bad time, but it sucked because I really was looking forward to it. But I was like, fuck it, nah. Like, this person does seem really like, cause like I said, the person I met really does seem really cool. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just. And I guess this is my issue. When I meet somebody, I'm already start envisioning my life with them. But like I said, I feel like as a guy, how could it not? You know what I'm saying? Like, how could I? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't make sense. You know, especially because of the lifestyle I live. I do a lot of solo shit. So I feel like if I was to meet somebody and continue to still do solo shit, and then I feel like it would make it more difficult for me to do partnership with them, because it'd be like I'm okay, like I said, because I'm gonna be very frugal. Because I'm like, oh well, we gotta think about longevity. We gotta think about doing this more times than, you know, we go up one time, but then we might not go up again until next month. I'm not doing that. I'd rather do it to where we could go out every other week. So that's when I'm like, I had to get back to budget mode, had to get back to realistic mode, and then like I said, I just imagine, I'm like, you know what, fuck it. If this goes right, I could take her with me to Disneyland, and then I just tell her to pay for her ticket, and then I just explain to her the situation, like when we get there, like, hey, I have my own pass, and I would love for us to go, but I know Disney's expensive for everybody, so that's why I don't usually bring this up to, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. And then, like I said, that's why I don't like just bringing that on to people like, oh, I'm going to Disney, because then they might think this nigga might be loaded. No, sis. I saved, and I know what I need to go spend my money on and what I don't need to spend my money on, which is just food. Literally, when I go to Disney, besides parking, but that's really all I spend my money on. I don't really get, because I got a good amount of, you know, you guys already know my collection is pretty vast. So I already got a good amount of knickknacks, memorabilia, so I don't usually go too crazy in that aspect. So I know that day I probably would have still spent like $60, but it probably would have been, like I said, a conglomerate of the whole day, you know. Whereas now I feel like if I tell someone I'm talking to, yeah, I'm about to go to Disneyland, they might be like, well, shit, I want to go too, and it's like, oh, now we gotta plan it, you know what I'm saying? Where I could go spontaneous, now I feel like I gotta be more thought out now, you know, which I don't have an issue with, you know. Like I said, in reality, you know what I'm saying? I told you guys that's the only thing a nigga been missing. If I find me a girl, and that's it. If I find me a girl that's okay with going 50-50, I'm cuffed. But I gotta get to that point, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so then because I'm not doing that no more, my Monday I end up fucking myself up, because like I said, I'm like, oh well, I wasn't expecting to, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, life happens. I wasn't expecting it to go like this, and now that it is, let's just pivot. You know what I mean? I'm not too upset about it. I'm like, let's just spin the ball and keep it rolling type shit. That's how I'm looking at it. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. Not gonna do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, like I said, it just seemed like a really expensive thing to do at a point where it's like I might end up having to do some, like I don't want that to be on top of another expense. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very calculated now to where it's like I said, I'm looking at my horizon. I'm like, okay, well, I can say that for later. You know what I mean? Literally, I've already been to Disney. I'm going because, like I said, I don't be doing much. Literally, I told you, like, after Sunday, I literally been in the house all week, y'all. Literally, no cap to my rap. My gas. I've never saved so much gas in my car. I'm so happy about it because, like I said, I'm not going to school. I'm not going to work. I don't have neither of those to go to anymore. So the only thing I have to go to now, quote unquote, have to go to now is the gym. And like I said, have to go to the gym. That's a stretch. I don't have to do anything. You know what? Cause I keep, like I said, I wanted to go to Disneyland, but I'm like, what can I do to make up for it? Because in reality, I wanted to go there to celebrate myself. Because when I go to Disney, I usually like to go for big reasons and shit. So I wanted to go because of the new job and all that stuff. So there's some stuff I want to celebrate. But I keep telling you guys, the biggest celebration is the graduation. So that's why I'm like, I think I could just still wait for that one. But I'm trying to think to myself, you don't have to just only go to Disneyland. That's what I keep telling myself. Don't only go to Disneyland. Don't only go to amusement parks to have fun. You can go to the beach. You go to a park. It just be, like I said, I'll just be like, for me, right? Like I said, I love the beach. Yeah, I love the park. But I feel like sometimes it's like, if that's the case, I could just stay home. You know what I mean? Like, if it's just relaxing. Like, I could really relax here, listen to some music, because that's really all I do at the beach. When I go to the beach, I might do that today. Honestly speaking, I might have to hit the beach. Just chill, landscape, and just enjoy some music, just some vibes. And then go see Michael Jackson after. Or I might wait, because for the first time ever, y'all, I might have someone I can go see the movies with. You feel me? So then, yeah. So pretty much on Monday, like I said, I had a plan where I wasn't going to go to the gym at all. But since I said I'm not going to Disneyland no more, I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm still go to the gym. So I ended up going to Planet Fitness because I woke up too late to go with the homies. So I do my own session there. But once I went to the session there, they was like, nigga, if you do that again, or if you don't work out with us all this week, then the contract was like, if you don't work out with us all this week, we keep you out the chat. So I thought that was just so funny. I was like, I would have been there, but I actually was going to go to Disneyland today. I'm actually glad I didn't even say that, because that would have really had you niggas like, what the fuck? So then essentially, I literally went to the gym. I hit, I landscaped. I made a TikTok, and then I came home to work on the yard. So I guess Monday was yard day. So I landscaped at the gym and I landscaped at home. You feel me? So and I thought that was so funny. I couldn't wait to talk about it on the pod. I said, actually, I had to do a double landscape. Looking at us. So I landscaped at the gym, came home, landscaped the yard at the house, and then once I was done with that, like I said, I was tired. I ain't gonna lie. The gym plus sweeping, all that work, put me out. So I was supposed to take a shower, but I ended up taking a nap before the shower. Woke up during the shower, or woke up during the nap because, now that like I said, y'all, now that I'm texting somebody, I have to remember to reply. Like when you single and you don't, because y'all, you guys don't understand. I really don't be having no hit ups, bro. Like as a nigga, the only people that hit me up is my family or the homies, and they're hitting me up for how much I'm not required on the phone that much, because I don't want to say I'm not needed. I know I'm needed. My family needs me, and I need my family. But I'm not required on the phone that often to where I'm always on my phone. Like when I'm on my phone, I'm usually on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I can't even say I'm playing video games anymore because I used to only do it to pass the time at work. But now I'm really just on social media for real. Doom scrolling, and trying to find topics for the podcast. You know how it goes. You feel me? So now that I'm like I said, I'm like, oh shit, I actually got a reason to be, checking my text messages again. I had to remember. I said, oh shit, text this person. And my fear is when I meet somebody new is that like, I hope my lifestyle isn't too boring, and I hope I don't take too many naps. You know what I'm saying? Like that's always what I'm worried about. I'm like I said, I be man, like I said, maybe, and I think this is why I'm single still, is because I be sabotaging myself. You know what I mean? I be self-sabotaging, like telling myself that these girls wouldn't want this version of me. So I be trying to I be subconsciously switching myself. But this time I was like, nah. Embrace it. Like, just let her know, nigga, like, you taking a nap. Let her know you had to clean the yard. Let her know you just chilling at the house. Like, in my head, I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, if I am looking for someone that I'm eventually going to end up with, I got to be my true and honest self. And the only way that someone's gonna love me for me is if I present me as me. And like I said, it's gonna help me too for just knowing that, because a part of me, like I said, I ain't gonna lie, being out the game so long, I feel like I have this predetermined belief of what a girl wants a nigga to do compared to what I want to do for a woman. So I'm having to like constantly battle between that of like not coming off too strong, but also making sure I show interest. You feel me? So, man, just, you know, inner healing, because like I got to the point where I'm like, I'm okay with being single, but you know, nigga, I'm a nigga. I'm not gay. You feel me? I want some pussy too. You feel me? I want some attention. Want some affection. Want some love. You feel me? But I gotta just keep it a bean. I got a little comfortable, so I had to remind myself like, nah, you might be talking to somebody now, so make sure you give her attention, and like I said, just be 100. You know, I'm really gonna keep reminding myself, be 100, because I'd much rather her fuck with me for what I am than fuck with me for what I want her to think I am. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I don't want her to think that I'm some big ass spender. You know what I mean? I don't want her to think I'm a trick. You feel me? I don't want her thinking that we gonna go out every single day, every other day. You know, and I'm like, nah, hey, I'll be in the house. If this ain't what you want, baby girl, let me know now. Break my heart now, so I don't have to get my heart broken later. But I'm okay with that. You feel me? Because like I said, it's been allowing me to, like I said, pursue my crafts, improve on my stuff, and just improve on myself personally to where, like I said, hey, even if it's just now, I know I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get to that point. And like I said, I don't want to, I already said it. You know, the devil can't stop what God already has planned. So with how it's looking, this is probably a good chance. You know what I'm saying? That this is like, she seems really different. She seems really cool, and I'm liking the way she is. So that's why it's making me even feel like, nah, like, present yourself as you as possible, so that way she can make sure that, like, yeah, she's rocking with this too. It wasn't also shit where it's like she's seen you in this one setting and she likes you in that setting, but then when she sees you in these other settings, which is your non-natural settings, she doesn't like that. So that's why I'm like, nah, let her get used to you being natural. Let her get used to you know what I'm saying? Let her see this, so that when she sees that, it's like, nah, I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the cleanup, you know? But that's why, like I said, that's why I was like, that's the big reason why I was like, nah, let me not just hit her up and be like, oh, I'm at Disneyland today. Because it's like, no, this is not a normal occurrence, baby girl. This is a blue moon shit. So I'm like, nah, because that's blue moon, let me be more calculated about it. You feel me? So that's why I'm like, yeah. That was a little more spontaneous. I could be a little more thought out now. You feel me? Everything I'm saying makes sense. And like I said, if you take the time to really understand what I'm saying, as a guy especially, you understand what I'm saying. It's just, I know for my women audience, y'all gonna be like, nigga, you sound like a bitch. Like, what the fuck? If you like her, do it up for her. And it's like, I know. But y'all, I stay in LA. There's a lot of ways that you could do it up, but I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be able to maintain it. You feel me? I don't ever want to. That's why I told myself, I'm not doing that no more. I'm not introducing no women to a lifestyle that I can't keep up with no more. It's not worth it. Because then I end up feeling bad because I'm like, I'm knowing I really like you, and then I end up getting, like I said, frustrated for knowing that I can't provide the way I want to provide. You feel me? So now I'm, like I said, I'm showing her, and I'm showing up as myself 100%. I haven't got to that conversation. We haven't got to that conversation yet about whether or not it's gonna be 50-50. But just based on the conversation we've been having, she doesn't even seem like the type that's even gonna like expect me to pay for her stuff, which I love that for me, because, you know, you get the woman that wants nothing and you give her everything. You feel me? That's really how it's supposed to go. You don't want to get the woman that wants everything and you give her everything. No. You get the woman that wants nothing and you give her everything, because she's going to appreciate whatever, you know what I'm saying? In the best way possible, you know? So that's what she's giving, you feel me? So, like I said, I was trying to dance around it, but there's no way I could talk about this weekly recap without needs and knowledge in that. And you guys know me. If it goes good, I'm going to talk about it. If it goes bad, I'm going to talk about it. But, you know, at least we talked about it. You feel me? But then, yeah, exactly. So, after I woke up from that nap, like I said, because I had to tell you guys that whole thing about the nap, because I had to tell you guys why, whatever happened, what happened. After I got out of my head and stopped feeling bad about being myself, I pretty much was like, yeah, be yourself, text her. And then she started telling me that she'd be taking naps too. So I was like, oh, even better. So, you know, it just goes to show you that it's best to just be honest than to keep that shit in yourself. You feel me? But after that, I pretty much was just on the phone with her. It was on FaceTime. And I was just doing my homework all day, till about like 8 something. On Monday, the cold was hitting me way harder, so I had to take some NyQuil. I took some NyQuil thinking I could continue to do my homework after it. No, that NyQuil, and it was the off-brand version too on top of that. The off-brand version of NyQuil came in like a freaking truck, semi, slammed me, and I freaking was tired. And like I said, I'm thinking, because I'm so used to going to sleep early and people being up and da-da-da, I'm thinking it's going to be like weird to her, but she was like, no, I'm going to bed too. And I said, oh, yes. Not only does she wake up early, but she goes to sleep early. Love that. And like I said, she was okay with just being on FaceTime with a nigga. Like, because I don't know, bro. I could easily keep a conversation, but it's hard if there's nothing to really talk about, you know. And like I said, I ain't been doing much, so I ain't been having much to talk about, you know what I mean? So I love someone that can just be on the phone with me and we can just be in each other's presence, because it's like you right here, you know what I'm saying? And we can just breathe, you feel me? Which is weird, right? Because I'm like, we really went from a time where we would be texting somebody all day, went from a time where you could be talking on the phone all day, to now it's just like, I just want you here as I do my thing, you feel me? Because sometimes I'm not going to want to be around you, but I still want your presence, you feel me? And then even that too, I'm making sure, like I said, I make sure to miss her. I'm not trying to like be so quick to like see her every other day. Like, nah, I'm being very, because like I said, I'm trying to maintain this. I want to make this last for as long as it can. You feel me? Y'all know me. I'm a very intentional guy, and you guys already know my heart. So I'm not gonna see her and act like I don't fuck. You feel me? Want something. But then after that, went to sleep officially and woke up and went to bed. On Tuesday, it was Taco Tuesday, but I didn't get no Tuesdays. And it was the first Tuesday in the last year and a half, when I didn't have to go to school. So essentially, I woke up and complete my daily routine before I started my online classwork around 8 something. Then I headed to the gym with Drew for a core and leg day. I made it to the gym with Drew. We did our work. Then I wanted to do like a lap outside of the workout area, but it ended up raining, so I was like, nah, I'm just hold off on this workout. Ended up just landscaping, and then I went home. And like I said, literally Monday I went to Planet Fitness. I don't need to say where I went, but I went to the gym, made my TikTok video, and I was home all day. Tuesday, went to the gym, made my video, was home all day. No freaking, and I have no issues with that. I'm loving it because, like I said, I'm on the phone with old girl. We FaceTime, we texting, you know what I'm saying? We talking and stuff like that, and I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm saving my money for the date that I'm planning to do with her eventually. I was planning, you know, like I said, because I know my women audience won't hear this and be like, so why aren't you planning her a date? Hold off. I would have probably took her out this weekend, but she's busy, so don't get it twisted. I was planning. I know girls, they don't give niggas their numbers for no reason. They don't be texting y'all, and they expecting y'all to link within the 2 weeks, something, you know what I'm saying, make something happen. So trust me, I was already on it, but she's busy this weekend, and I'm kind of busy this weekend, but I was basically going to invite her to my shit, but she said she'll let me know, because this Sunday we got a bowling, with my run club, and I was like, bowling? You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be an official first date, but it'll be a nice way to hang out, just to like, you know, get out the way. Y'all know me. My first dates, I love a movie, so I feel like I take girls to the movies so I can see. Are you someone that I can go see a movie with? If you're someone that I go see a movie with, we're locked in. If we're locked in, ain't no switching up. But bowling is the same way. Like anything that I feel like is like a activity. I love activities, bro. Y'all know this. So literally, after I did my morning routine, went to the gym with my nigga Drew, headed home, stayed for the rest of the day, ate some beans and bread, took a nap, and then I did some more homework, played some Fortnite with my nigga Devin and Ruchi. Then I fell asleep, woke up again. My mom made some stew, so I ended up eating some rice and stew, and then I fully went to sleep. So I ain't gonna lie, I noticed that between that Monday and Tuesday, that my anxiety, or you call it a spade, my nervousness for, like I said, you know, talking to a girl again, thinking, you know what I'm saying, getting worried, you feel me? Because y'all don't know this, but prior to the girl that I might be talking to now, I might as well call it a spade. Prior to the girl I'm talking to right now, there was a mini talking stage that I had with someone that I told you guys I was going to tell you guys 2 episodes ago, but I didn't get into it. The only reason I didn't get into it is because, like I said, I feel like it would be me bringing attention to the person, and it would be embarrassing just overall. But due to that, I feel like a part of me, like I said, it's just been so like I said, I just have like a little like worry, I guess, now that I'm always like, damn, am I doing too much? Am I not doing enough? Am I doing too much? Am I not doing enough? So I was fighting that part of me on Monday and Tuesday. But like I said, she's just been so cool, and she's just been like reassuring me without, she don't even notice. She don't even realize what she's doing. But she's been reassuring me by just being so cool about just, I guess, me, which is so weird, right? Because like, I don't know why I expected her to not be cool with a nigga like me. But, you know, just based on past experience, I guess I'm expecting the worst. She's shown me already without trying that I could be a little more relaxed here. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to get some proper fucking rest finally on Wednesday, which was yesterday. Hump day. And yeah, I can say that because I woke up on time, got to the gym with my nigga Drew on time, everything. Literally, once we left the gym, I came home, and like I said, your boy been trying to save money. You feel me? Because I'm like, hey, one thing about it, hey, I know myself. I'm like any Nigerian man. When it comes to me, I give myself the cheapest shit. But when it comes to my woman, I want to give her the world. So I'm okay with eating home if my girl can eat out. You feel me? Type shit. So I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, head home. You got some food at home. Went home, made some burgers. 2 double smash burgers with turkey bacon and some curly fries that I had on the side. Ended up making that. And then I ain't gonna lie, that right there, the burger itself, put me out for like an hour. I woke up. Oh, and before I even did that, I woke up. Shout out to my mom. I'm telling you guys, I just keep having mucus. I'm sorry. I apologize. Prior to that, big shout out to my mom. We ended up working on 2 of my big assignments for my class. One assignment where we had to record ourselves, and I was a client. I mean, both assignments, I was a therapist and she was a client. One assignment, we were doing deep breathing, so I just basically had to do the deep breathing, and then she had to repeat after me. And then the second assignment was us coming up with a safety plan for a child. Originally, I was going to have the safety plan for an adult that was in a domestic violence situation, but part of me just seen the amount of work that was going to go into that, and I was trying to print out the document. It just wasn't coming out the right way, so I said, F it, we're going to just use my laptop, and I'm going to just record it, and then I'm going to just do the child one. The adult one just seemed too complicated. So essentially, completed 2 assignments before the gym session, went to the gym session, had a great gym session, finished my gym session with my nigga Drew, said bye to my nigga. Then I ran a mile, 1.4 miles, 1.4 miles in about 11 minutes, which to me is really, because like I said, I haven't told you guys this, but when I go work out with my nigga Drew and my nigga Huncho, we're not at Planet Fitness, so I'm not doing my normal routine. My normal routine is this: I come in, do 10 minutes of cardio, aka 11 minutes, because I record myself for 1 minute. That way I can make a TikTok about it later, and then I do 1 hour of the actual session. So with them, like I said, I don't know if it's due to the gym itself, but we just go straight to the workout. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this is not my session, so I'm not gonna come in here and try to dictate or try to tell niggas how we should do it. So essentially, but my mind, I'm like, I kind of still want that piece of cardio. I still want that. I still want to do that. So after the workout, I was like, nah, I'm finna go. I can't do that. I can't miss 2 cardio days in a row. So I was like, nah, because like I said, just 10 minutes. So I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna go run up the street real quick. So I ran 5 minutes out, and I ran 5 minutes back. I made sure I seen the distance too. I put the location on like a little liquor store that was like 0.7 away. So I was like, okay, if I'm going 0.7 back, 0.7 this way, I'm for sure getting a mile in. And then I got the mile in like 7 minutes and 59 seconds. I was really happy with myself because I'm getting to the point where now I can confidently run a mile in less than 10 minutes. So now when I go to the Crenshaw Mile next year, it's over with. So yeah. But as you guys can see too, I've been purposely trying to my best to like get my responsibilities done even before the gym. So where the last thing I even have to do for the day is the gym. So like literally the last 3 days, which has been so funny because I'm like, I didn't even realize that I literally reached my goal of doing 3 times a week in the gym, like that. I mean, even though it was different this time, I only went to the Planet Fitness 1 time this week, but I still managed to get 3 days out the gym and shit with my nigga Drew. So big shout out to my nigga Drew, for sure. So then yeah, after I finished running, like I said, I was like, you know what, fuck it, we landscaped it today. After I finished running, I landscaped, and then I came home, and that's when I made the double smash burgers. as usual, the burgers and the gym and the work to make the burgers was a lot on your boy. So after I finished eating one of the burgers, I took a nap. Didn't tell old girl because, like I said, I didn't feel like cause like part of me is like, do I tell her every time I take a nap, or do I just tell her, when we're texting type shit? And like, it's not even hurting, but it's been hurting. You know what I'm saying? My body keeps functioning. So definitely after today's episode, me and the restroom, we're gonna have to get along. So, oh my gosh. So after I made my burgers, I take a nap, wake up, and then I stream some GTA. Only did an hour and 30 minutes of GTA because it hasn't been too much going on, and I've been really noticing. I'm like, the longer I stay on there, the more bored I get. So I want to make sure I don't be doing no bored streams, and I want to make sure I try to play more games too. So I forced myself to, because I've been literally avoiding it. I don't know why. Once I played it, I don't know why. It literally was like, why was you avoiding this shit this whole time? But literally, I played 1 hour of GTA, and then I was going to play some Daxter. So now, as I'm playing Daxter, I'm quickly reminded why I hate bugs. Daxter is a game, well, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys the whole freaking history of Daxter, but just know it's a game where you're an ocelot, and you have a freaking dead homies. You have a freaking fly swatter that's electrocuted, and you gotta go kill these freaking big ass bugs for this guy. And there's a big story and everything. But I say that to say that life comes full circle in a sense. Well, I guess it doesn't really come full circle, but it's just so interesting how much influence that game had on my life without me realizing it. Because like subconsciously, I hate bugs. Like I hate roaches. I hate critters that you have to squish. In that game, you have to squish them. You have to squish a lot of bugs. And when I turned 13, it was either 12, 13. I feel like it's 13 because if I'm not mistaken, hey Google, when did the PSP first release?
March 24th, 2005. According to Wikipedia, it was first released in Japan on December 12th, 2004, in North America on March 24th, 2005, and in PAL regions on September 1st, 2005, and is the first handheld installment in the PlayStation line of consoles.
2005? Hold on, y'all. That gotta be capped, because when did the PSP drop? Bro. Wait a minute. Hold on. So it says the original Sony PlayStation Portable was first released in Japan on December 12, 2004. It later launched in North America on March 24, 2005, and in Europe regions September 1st, 2005. The handheld, known for games like Grand Theft Auto and Daxter, was officially discontinued in 2014. But wait a minute. The only reason that I'm confused, right, is because every year is essentially what age I am. So in 2026, I'm 26 years old. If the PSP came out in 2005, that would mean that I was 5 years old. I do not see myself or my parents. My parents are very, very, very strict. My parents are very, very Nigerian. I don't see my parents giving me a PS5 at 5 years old. But did they give it to me? You know, so I'm like, the reason I'm so shocked, right, is because for some reason I've attributed childhood or like certain ages to just not being able to do certain things. So as you can see, I'm convinced that my 5-year-old self couldn't have been playing a PSP. But it's like, was I playing a PSP at 5 years old? Did I have Daxter? Because I was saying that to say that I remember it like it was yesterday. I thought I was 13. Fuck, I thought it was 2013. But I remember there was a PSP they dropped. You know what's crazy? It couldn't have been 2013. It couldn't have, because 2013 is when I first got to King Drew, and by the time I got to King Drew, we've already been left the PSP. Wow. So wait a minute. Let me look it up. PSP Daxter bundle. Bro. Oh my god. Y'all don't understand. Just even looking at this picture. Let me see. Release date. Bro, there's no way. So, that makes more sense. So, right. The limited edition PSP Entertainment Pack was released in North America September 6, 2007. So, that's more reasonable, right? Because I got it on my birthday. So, I probably was turning 8 years old. It was probably my 8th birthday then. November 13th, 2007. Turned 8 years old. Got the PSP. And for some reason, it was so funny. It was so funny, bro. Because I remember, like, I remember, like, it was yesterday, bro. Like, bro, I love my parents so much. Like, because even with, like, now that I'm older, knowing that they didn't have much, even with that, they still gave us the world, bro. They gave us whatever the fuck we wanted, fool. Because I kid you not, this is all I wanted, bro. I wanted this PSP so bad. Daxter, I said, Mom, Dad, can I get this PSP? Looking at this price, this shit was $200. At that time, 2007, you know how much $200, do you know how much $200 was worth in 2007? It was worth a lot. It was actually $200 worth of money at that time. So to know that my parents did that, got it from me with no issue. Man, and literally the Family Guy is freaking sweet. Bro, I'm getting nostalgia right now. That's my man. Shout out to my nigga Rue, because he said that the other day, was playing with him. He said the reason you guys like that, bro, the reason I fuck with y'all is because y'all nostalgic. Y'all nostalgic niggas, bro. And I'm like, you right, bro. You right, because shit was just better, bro. She was just better, bro. I'm sorry. It is what it is. But literally, and the even more reason why I remember this like it was yesterday, the shit didn't work. I remember getting the PSP. This is when they could sell you game systems that were fresh, brand spanking new, never been opened, and it could still be defective. You know, nowadays, if they give you a PS5, it's not working, that's a big deal. At that time, they give you something that doesn't work, you just bring it back and return it. But I remember I was so hurt because, if I'm not mistaken, I ended up having to return the limited edition one for a normal one, but I was able to still have the game Daxter, if I'm not mistaken. But if I'm not mistaken, and it went the way that I guess the returns went, I might have still got it, the actual one. But I just know eventually, down the line, I ended up not having the silver one, and I ended up getting the black one. And that might have been, you know, like I said, for reasons I can't really remember at this time. But I remember my first really handheld video game was Daxter. So, and I'm telling you this because I'm like I said, I don't think I was playing video games. If it's 2007 they came out, I doubt I had any other video games besides handheld games. I remember I did my parents didn't even let me get a phone until like 12 years old, like literally until I was in middle school. And I remember that because my auntie got it for me. So that's I'm pretty on point with that. But essentially, yeah, that was my first video game, and it definitely left the mark on me because as I'm playing it yesterday, I'm like, this is why I don't fucking like bugs, because I fucking was killing the fuck out of these bugs. But I remember being so young and playing that game and coming across, you know, points in the game, because that game doesn't really give you much tutorial. It was like the first open world game where I had to play it, I had to figure it out. Mind you, I didn't play much games prior to this, so that's what it was. We was playing Mortal Kombat. Like, I was playing on other people's games. I never had my own system. The PSP was my first own system that was really belonged to me, so that's what it was. So yeah, I remember playing it yesterday, and I was just like, dang, like, this was the game I struggled with when I was younger, and I couldn't freaking beat the game. But I'm looking at it yesterday, I'm like, I'm finna freaking beat the hell out of this game this time. The fuck? But yeah, man, it was just really dope. You feel me? So after that, like I said, played some GTA, played some Daxter, then I got on the phone with Shawty, and then we had a good night. And like I said, she just like me for real. It was like 10 o'clock, and she was like, hey, I'm about to call it a night. I said, yeah? I said, that's probably with me, because I was getting a little sleepy too. So, hey, that's my kind of woman. You know, I'm old, so if my woman that works, you know what I'm saying, wakes up, handle business, go to work, handle her business, gets home, calls me, and it's by 9 o'clock, is already in bed, bro, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna have a good time, because I have a routine. So I'm like, if she's okay with me, my Monday through Friday routine, and then of course we could, you know what I'm saying, sneak some, like I said, that's when like my plan is, before I sneak the everyday hangouts in there, I want to probably take her on a first date, show her that I'm truly interested, you know, like I said, do it the right way. Get the flowers. Do what I'm saying. Really do it up. You know what I'm saying. First date, probably take her either. You know what I'm saying. Like this will definitely be an activity, but I'm trying to think. Do I want to do it more relaxed, or do I want to do more focused on the date? I guess it'll be a mixture of both. You know. Like I said, I'm thinking, you know, tacos, beach. You know what I'm saying. We could just talk, you know, vibe, and just really just get to know each other and shit. So that's what I'm thinking. So yeah, that's my first date idea, or movie, or you know what I'm saying, activity plus some food. You know what I'm saying. Not too much crazy dinner because, like I said, you know, these girls don't like cheesecake. But if she okay with cheesecake, then yeah, we can do cheesecake and shit. But yeah, essentially that's my plan. I'm trying to like make sure I take her on a date first, really show her, and then, you know, continue to get to know her during this whole time and stuff, and just really show her that I'm really interested. So that way, she can see my intentions, and if she's not in that, she can not be into that. Let me know, and if she's into that, I'm saying we can keep going. From what I've heard, like it sucks because the only reason that I feel like I'm at a position where I'm like nervous about whether or not I should trust them, and I should like I'm like nah, let me see their behavior. Is because like I told you guys, motherfucking dang, that's hard. There was a girl that I talked to last year, fucking 2025, that I had a whole episode, not a whole episode about. That's let me not chill out, Caduce. You putting too much dip on her chip. There was a girl that I talked to in 2025 that was talking that good. Like, man, I don't be, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much, I'm trying to be your wife, nigga. Ended up doing some crazy shit that, like, let me know. I was like, yeah, you could never be my wife, fool. But I was just so confused because I was like, why'd you tell me that you want to do this if you didn't want to do this? So it put me in a weird position. I was like, do I really want what I say I'm wanting out here? But I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I do want what I want, which is, like I said, I just want me. Well, that's what I'm saying. I guess I gotta be honest. I would love a girlfriend. I would definitely love a partner. I would love, like, my rock, my other half. But like I said, I just don't want a girl that thinks I'm finna just come and, like, take care of everything. Like, I'm finna just, you know what I'm saying, pay for everything. That's not it. I'm here. I'm gonna be in your life, and I'm gonna be there for you. But financially, I just hope you know that I'm gonna definitely need you to invest in it too. If that's it, that's cool, man. That's it. We cool. Like I said, I'm all for traveling. I'm all for going out, but I can't do it on my salary alone. Shit, baby girl, I ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying? Nigga still in school. I gotta. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a couple years. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a couple years, and I know. No girls don't want to wait a couple years. So if I can find a girl that's willing to work with me, man, come on now. You think she's not gonna get? Come on, fool. I don't gotta say it. But like I said, this is the part that most niggas we can't say out loud because, like I said, it just sounds like an excuse. Because every girl loves to say if a nigga wanted to, he would. You know, so I'm not negating that either. So, you know, believe what you want to believe. But essentially now, as you guys can see, this is how Caduce is when I'm not in a rush. When I don't got nowhere to go. I'm not going to do this next week's episode. Like I said, I'm going to be on point because I'm going to Six Flags. But I'm going to be more early with it. You feel me? Be way more early. I woke up at 4 today. I could wake up at 4 again next week. The only thing I didn't have ready today was the topic list. But it was because I was having such a good Wednesday. I was like, man, am I really in a rush? Like, but then, like I said, I'll be forgetting, like, nah, this podcast is something that I feel like I can't half-ass. Even when I want to half-ass, the execution always comes out so subpar that it shows me that, like, you better off preparing and staying prepared. But then, yeah. So, episode 8 of the Invincible series, you know, like I said, I was going to talk about it. There's not really too much to talk about besides the fact that, essentially we kind of see the follow-up of their eventual meetup with Thrag, where Mark, Nolan, and I guess Thaddeus, you know what I'm saying, the top 3 niggas, they end up fighting Thrag and end up destroying Planet Viltrum. So we're seeing the follow-up of that, and essentially this whole episode, I guess, is about PTSD for real. Like, that's the best way I could put it, because the whole time they're on the way to Earth, Mark is just scared and he's so worried. Like, what is this nigga Thrag doing? Like, what are the Viltrumites doing to Earth? What are the Viltrumites doing to Earth? And then essentially he gets there. They get to Earth and they see that Earth is still in one piece. But every time Mark talks to somebody that he cares about, he has a vision, a very vivid vision of Thrag possibly taking them out. And it was like, it happened like 3 times this episode that I was like, okay, bro, if you gotta do this again, I don't know what you guys want me to think. Like, I feel like, it's like the boy that cried wolf. The effectiveness of it was better off the first 2 times. By the 3rd time, I was like, okay, I know it's not a real vision. I know this is not Thrag. That by the time Thrag really does show up, it's like, okay, we know this is really it. You know what I mean? Because for one, in every version that he's seen you up until this point, you literally been killing him and his family members. The first time they seen Thrag, he was destroying the earth. The second time he sees Thrag, he's killing his mom. The third time he sees Thrag, he's killing Adam Eve. The fourth time he sees Thrag, he's killing Cecil. So I'm just like, brother, okay, I guess, all right, like, because that's what someone was saying in the comments. It was like, he got PTSD, post-traumatic symptoms, post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder. So he keeps seeing Thrag, so that's a stress disorder that he has. And I thought that was pretty on point. Like I said, I've already watched videos on the comics, so it's different from the comics than how it was in the show. In the show, I feel like they're taking a realistic approach with just superhero life, in the sense of like they're showing what the mental load that it puts on, the mental strain that it puts on someone, having to see death, having to see their family members getting killed, having to see their family members getting dismembered, having to see people get dismembered, having to see people just like lose their lives like in such gruesome ways. Like, we're seeing the aftermath, because usually, honestly, I actually gotta give Robert Kirkman kudos for this, honestly, because it's like the memes where they're like, imagine living in a Marvel movie and you want to put insurance on your car. It's like, boy, we ain't putting no insurance on that car. You know the universe you live in. Usually when you see these universes, you're not thinking about that. You're not thinking about how like everything the hero went through, like how the toll it takes on the person. Besides Spider-Man is probably the only hero that I know consistently that they always show the weight of being a hero with this nigga. And it sucks, because I'm like, Spider-Man, he's a guy in this hero scale, but just his mental health level, I know his mental health is like low, subpar. And they've really been like making it a point to show how deteriorated Mark's mental health has been, and how all these events has been like putting a stress on him. And it's just a really interesting thing to see, because like I said, it makes you think like, oh damn, like even heroes go through this. And then on top of that, bro, imagine you go through all this and your girl says she got an abortion. Now I'm all for pro-life. I feel like her body, her choice. If anything, I feel like more women should do this, in the sense of Adam Eve realized, hey, this man got me pregnant, but he's not going to be in the picture. Mind you, Mark is not being in the picture not because he doesn't want to be in the picture. Mark is being in the picture because he has to save the world. You know what I'm saying? Has to save the universe. You know what I'm saying? Has to save the galaxy. You know what I'm saying? So his stakes are really high. She knew. She said, yeah, I don't think I could raise this baby by myself. And she got rid of the baby. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And I just thought that was really nice, because like I said, I feel like, I don't know, it didn't bother me that she did that. If anything, I was like, I could see why she would do that. Like, if anything, it kind of made sense. You know what I mean? Like, she, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't want to raise a child without, she clearly wants to raise a 2-parent household kid. You know what I mean? Like, I second that, Adam Eve. You're right. You know what I'm saying? Especially with, I'm sure Mark would have been a great dad with him being here than you having to raise him the first couple, you know what I'm saying? Because she didn't know he was even coming back. So there was just so many what ifs that for her to be in that position, I kind of understand why she made that choice. And I love, because I feel like this is me as a nigga. I love the fact that when he told her, or when she told him that she had an abortion, he immediately apologized, because he was like, I'm sorry I pushed you through that you were in a position that you had to make that decision. Sometimes I feel like sometimes guys who don't get it, you know? And I'm not saying this for every guy. I'm not saying this for every relationship. But I remember, I remember the first time my ex-girlfriend put her hands on me. She had slapped me or she did some shit, right? I wanted to be upset at her, but part of me was like, well, what am I doing? Like, what did I do to make her feel that she had to attack me? So I apologized. I was like, hey, I've never been in a situation like this, but I'm assuming that she felt like defenseless and you had to like, you know, you felt like you must have been pushed to a corner that you felt like you had to do something to me. Hey, I'm not going to beat you up on it. Just know that we could be better. We're better than this. Like, let's try to work it out. Let's try to talk it out. Never put my hands on her. Never did anything to her. Oh God, I could bang that. You know, the dead homies, I could bang that. Never put my hands on no girl and like in a way of like hitting her and shit like that. Never did no shit like that. But I remember when she did that to me, I was like, oh, like I apologize. I'm sorry. Like if I made you feel uncomfortable, I made you feel not safe, I made you feel threatened, I definitely apologize because on me, I didn't mean to. And like I said, that must be why you feel like you have to hit me, type shit. So I feel like that moment, that scene that Mark had with Eve, it reminded me of me, and I was like, dang, like, so I'm not the only one that be thinking like that. Like, yeah, like, you know, sometimes, you know, a woman's choice is her choice, but if I'm in her life, I always try to see, like, how am I affecting that choice? Like, how did I play a part in that, you know? So, that was really dope. But essentially, we see that the whole time, and then Eve put on some weight, too, and I thought it was funny how they, like, try to make her character build a little bigger, but in reality, all they did was just make her thicker. Like, the only way you can make someone fat is if you add fat. But they just really just gave her more curves and I guess a little more, you know what I'm saying? And I guess a little more cheek. But it was really just funny because it was like, you know. So it was just funny because it was like, she basically was like, Mark, yeah, my priorities came back. She's like, I got bigger. She's like, I was eating at my family's house and I haven't been taking care of myself. And I'm like, right. Like, I'm like, as a nigga, I would have been like, baby girl, it's okay if you're a little pregnant. You know what I'm saying? It's okay if you put on a little weight. You know what I'm saying? You were a 6-pack monster. We could easily get you back to this, you know what I'm saying? We could easily get you back to this state. All we need is 30 days. All we need is 30 days. But then, yeah, the episode kind of finishes similarly to, like, the freaking, the book, in a sense of, we see Thrag basically come and let Mark know, like, hey, we gonna be on Earth. And we could do this one or two ways. You could leave us alone, and we could just do our thing, get our people back up to their strength, and then we could see what happens there. Or you could try to fuck with us right now, and we could just fuck this whole shit up. What choice do you want to make? Well, when you put it like that, I don't really have a choice, really. No, you don't. But which choice do you want to have to where people live now, or do they die now, type shit? So Mark's choice is the right choice, in my opinion, which is like, it's the famous quote. A train is going down a track and it has two pathways. One pathway has one person and the other pathway has 3 people. Which pathway are you going to make the train station go? In reality, why don't we just stop the train? But if we had to pick it on one, let's kill the one person over the many people, because you know it's more, just logically speaking, it's easier to sacrifice one person than it would be to sacrifice 3 people. Would I change my mind if I was the person on that train track? Of course, because I wouldn't want to fucking die. Duh. But if I'm not the person that I get to just choose, I'm choosing the 1 over the 3. I'm sorry. I apologize. Sorry, not sorry. But essentially, I feel like that was the situation that Mark Grayson is put in. He's like, look, because more than likely, he would die. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would be the 1 person versus the 3 people, because Thrag killing him. Because, yeah, Mark is not in the picture, and Thrag just has... Yeah, it's best. Yeah. It's weird. You're damn if you do, you damn if you don't. Because it's like, you could fight the niggas, right? And sacrifice yourself and then be like, okay, well, that's not my problem no more. But then it's like, if Mark dies right then and there, and like any of the, you know, Mark, Nolan, and them, Earth is really fucked. Because like I said, they're really the only niggas that could go against the Viltrumites. The only things that could go against the Viltrumites are, it's like a pizza. It's ingredients. It only works when it's put together. If you just leave the ingredients outside, you're not doing nothing against the Viltrumites. There's only a problem when you clean these ingredients together. So, yeah, in my opinion, I think he did the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure your peoples are straight. And plus, bro, in reality, if this is the biggest threat we've been going against, and he's like, look, we want a chance so we could like we just want to live a little bit. If that gives you a chance as Mark to, you know, breathe, be a normal hero for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, get your mental health back to normal, then you could fight him again, I'm all for it. Because like I said, this season has put Mark through a lot, and I feel like this episode, even though I'm making fun of him for having all this stress and shit, really encompasses how much it's weighed on him and how much of a toll it's taken on him. Like, this nigga can't even look at his family, his mom, his brother, his dad, his, you know what I'm saying, regular people, his girlfriend, without thinking Thrag is gonna kill him. At least now, at the end of the episode, well, Thrag might kill y'all, but not right now. Shit, we got a little bit of time to breathe. So shit, let's move on. So that was the most recent episode of Invincible. And then I found this new show because, like I said, once you finish episode on Prime, they always recommend new shows. One thing I don't like about Prime too, like I said, I don't like how it Prime Video should just be an app for watching TV. I don't need it to be an app that also sells me items. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's with Prime and shit, but like, come on, y'all, chill out. Can a nigga go somewhere where I'm not trying to be sold something? You know, like, I know the commercials are going to be the commercials, but I'm saying, like, I don't like the fact that, like, you watching Amazon Prime and you have an account, for example, and, for example, the freaking, the Invincible show. You watch the Invincible show, they did a collaboration with a Brisk. Why am I seeing a little box in my corner talking about some add to cart? Damn, niggas. Like, I know that's convenient, but it's like, come on, we're that in the dystopian society where it's like niggas can't even watch TV without ordering as they're watching TV. Fuck, man. Let me order it after the show. You know what I'm saying? Not as the show is going, add it to my cart. Yeah, let me add it to my cart. Like, bro, we're losing the plot, guys. We're losing the plot. Amazon, you're becoming a monopoly, and I'm all for it because I use you guys. But damn, chill out, fool. Chill out. Give niggas a couple years to catch up too. Damn. Like, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a point, bro. Nigga, Amazon, Apple, it's gonna be a point, bro. You're not even gonna have to go to the Apple store. You could just go to Amazon. You're not gonna be a point. You don't go to Samsung no more. We don't even need T-Mobile. Everything's gonna be under Amazon. It's getting there, bro. It's getting there. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first. So now, let's talk about some shit that I seen on Instagram this week that I thought was just so interesting. So, Ice Spice, oh my gosh. Dang, the picture looks freaking crazy. Sheesh. Dang. But yeah, let me focus my fault. Yo, I got distracted a little bit. Yeah. You know me, man. But Ice Spice got into a physical altercation with a woman inside of a Hollywood McDonald's. I kid you not. Ice Spice, also known as Isis Spices, was eating at McDonald's, right? When this girl comes up to her, which looks like a fan, and is trying to talk to her, but I guess Ice Spices wasn't really, like, you know what I'm saying, in the mood, you know what I'm saying, to be so nice, you know what I'm saying? And the girl starts turning up on her and telling her, like, where are you from? You know that you in Cali? And I was just like, as an LA member, as an LA native, I was just so disappointed because there's ways we could go about this, you know what I'm saying? You know the whole thing about tapping in, checking in, you know what I'm saying? Basically making sure that I'm not gonna debate whether or not you're checking in or not, but just making sure that you're good when you go into a new place, you know what I'm saying? As someone with motion. Let's just put it like that. Someone with motion, just making sure you go to a place where there's wolves, tapping in with someone that can, you know what I'm saying, that knows about the wolves, and just making sure that you can have a good trip. I know we're not gonna sit here and talk about, oh my god, only black people have to do this, I know. We're not gonna sit here and talk about whether or not it's fair or not. World ain't fair, you feel me? But essentially, I at least would respect it more if it was like the type of person that deserves that type of energy. Like, Ice Spice eating at McDonald's already is like, I would have been like, okay, like maybe that's me, maybe it's because I think I'm a celebrity too. I'd be like, she clearly is not trying to mess with nobody. She clearly just here to mind her own business. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like I said, after my homies, and I feel like they didn't already check me on many times. Shout out to my nigga Rucci. Just like, nigga, you a celebrity too. You can't be gawking over these celebrities to the point where you wanna, hey, I need you to notice me. Chill. Acknowledge their presence mentally. Maybe even say something, but like, don't go out your way to make them uncomfortable. Don't go out your way to have to interact with them. You feel me? Because essentially that's what I feel like in this video happened. But let's play the audio. And that's what I'm saying. How you, like, the girl walks up to her. She don't walk up to Ice Spice. She walks up to Ice Spice's friend. But I guess so that way, you know. But that's what I'm saying. You obviously knew to be seen by her. But she walks into Ice Spice's friend. She's like, "You ready?" And she's like, "Ready for what?" To shake ass. So you know who she is. You know Ice Spice got that ass, and you know she's known for shaking that ass. So you can't sit here and say, "Well, I didn't even know who she was." I didn't. Nah, you know, your line of questioning or your line of conversation already let us know that you know who this person is and you know what they're known for. Cool. But the way that she just turns up on her when she's like gets dismissed, and it's like, well, sis, I'm just trying to eat my McDonald's, fool. Damn, I don't want to have to shake ass with you. I don't know you. Damn, that sounds so crazy coming from a nigga. Ice Spice didn't want to shake ass with you. She doesn't know you. And then the fact that you just started snapping on her is just so crazy. It's so crazy to me. This is why, honestly, I'm saying all this, but I'll tell you guys all this. I'll be the bitch in situations. I always take the high road. Because I know I'm willing to take it there. But at the same time, you never know. There's people that's crazy out there too. So it's like, so we don't even get there. Here, you got it. I'm a bitch. Let me just get my ass home because I don't even need to prove a point. I don't even need to fucking prove a point. Because there's people like this that will prove a point. That's what I'm saying. You could just see in the video, based on her body language, she just wanted to touch her. Like, I never seen people. Oh my god, because I don't want to, my psych brain want to be like, oh, maybe she's jealous of her. I don't want to throw that on her, right? I don't want to throw that on her. But something in you was clearly offended. Something clearly was bothered by just her presence because the conversation didn't even get that far. You come up to them, you're saying, "Are you ready?" They said, "Are you ready for what?" You said to shake ass. And the girl says, Ice Spice like, "You want to go shake ass? You go shake ass over there." Like, we don't know what you got going on. You didn't even come and introduce yourself. That's what I'm saying. You made it seem like you said, "Hi, Ice Spice. I'm a big fan. Are you ready to shake some ass now, girl?" No, you just went up to her friend. Not even the known one. You went up to the friend that was like, "You want to shake ass?" So, of course, she probably look at you like, "Oh, this person's trying to play with me." That's what I would think. I'm thinking, "Oh, you trying to be funny. You trying to be funny." But immediately, bro, the girl's whole vibe just changed. She just like, kind of was like, "Are you from Cali?" Oh, man. Like I said, I watched too many of these videos to know that, hey, when someone's like coming at you like that, boy, you either stand up or you be prepared. You get ready. Lock your feet in. You feel me? Tuck your jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Hey, just assume that it's about to get there because when someone's in your face talking about something, where you did it? Oh, you did it? And you can tell the girl was just so thirsty because literally slaps Ice Spice in the face. Ice Spice, gets up and is like, "What the fuck?" They start squabbling a little bit. Lucky for Ice Spice, I'm not gonna lie. She's actually really, really lucky in the sense of the girl slips and she loses her balance, and that allows Ice Spice to kind of get her bearings right. And I'm saying that she's lucky because someone like this, whereas it turned, like you can tell, like I said, I'll tell you guys in one of these episodes, a hater is a fan that didn't get enough attention. I could tell just based off of this small interaction, this girl was going to turn it from, okay, well, shit, since you don't want to acknowledge me, since you don't want to fuck with me, I'm about to beat the shit out of you. I'm about to fuck you up to where your face is fucked up, to where you're affected by this because I'm so bitter with my life. That's what this was given because it's like this situation wasn't even worth fighting for. But I could just tell by the way that she reached that Ice Spice's face, she was trying to make that girl ugly, for sure. She was trying to leave a mark. And I just feel like people like that, you got a lot of hate in your heart, no cap. That's why I be trying to stay out of the way because there's somebody that I move with love. There's people that move with hate. You're not gonna beat someone with, you know what I'm saying, that's moving with hate. Shit, that's a dark energy, bro. I gotta watch it again because it's just like she literally walks up to her like she's looking all excited. Oh my god! Literally walks up to her ass and literally doesn't even say ass. She says ass. Ready for what? Like, she's getting closer. Like, what do you want from me? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Oh, man. Man. I love that for Ice Spice. Expose these weirdos, bro. And then this weird-ass nigga, because it doesn't end there. Essentially, Ice Spice is like, I want the squabble. I need the hands. Like, you're not finna just come and try to just swing on me and think you can just walk away. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm telling you, those are the worst people in the world. The person that's wrong, but it's like, I don't give a fuck. We're gonna just take it all the way there. So wait. You come and attack me innocently. I try to defend myself, and now you about to send your nigga to come beat me up. And now your nigga's over there talking about something. We take it there with anybody. So, you're with it too, bro. You're okay with just escalating it to that point. Fuck, man. It's scary, bro. These are the people that I'm telling you, that be right next to you. That's why I be like, bro, it's not even worth it. Because I be right in most of my situations. It's not even worth it, bro. It's not even worth it. You got it. Especially when I see someone's like, bro, especially with a woman. Oh my God. It's always so funny to me when a woman like starts getting aggressive with me. Because I look get disrespectful. Like, girl, like, I remember one time this lady was talking to me, older lady. And I was like, I said, shut up, stop talking to me. What are you, and I had to check myself. I was like, dude, why are you talking to her like this? But it was just one of those things, was like, what are we going to do? We're not going to fight, lady. You're not going to take it there, so leave me alone. And you over here trying to yell at a nigga, trying to pop it. Yeah. And I said, shut up, please. You know, and that's how you know, y'all. I'm just so comfortable. I didn't even like the incense. We slipping today. But 3 hours in, it's better late than never. But essentially, yeah. I'm on Ice Spice's side. I feel like that girl is weird. Weird as the fuck. What do you mean that you walking up to somebody talking about something, are you ready to shake ass? And then they give you, the answer pretty much. They look at you like the weirdo that you are because, yeah, I'm just eating my food. And then, like I said, I gotta keep it 100 because if I'm gonna give anybody advice, I also gotta give Ice Spice some advice too. Baby girl, why you at McDonald's without me? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Why you at McDonald's without your boy? Why you even in there? Well, I ain't gonna lie. Because I'm only assuming that maybe Ice Spice has a residence out here, right? And maybe that McDonald's is nearby, and maybe she's like, hey, fuck it. Why don't we just walk there? Why don't we just eat there? You know what I mean? And it's like, in a perfect world, Ice Spice, you're motherfucking right. You should be able to just walk to McDonald's. You should be able to just eat at McDonald's like a normal person. But baby girl, you're fine, and I ain't gonna lie, you be showing a lot of ass. So there's a lot of freaky niggas out there already, you know what I'm saying, to be honest. And then there's gonna be a lot of hating ass bitches out there too. So you know what I'm saying? You gotta choose your battle. You feel me? You gotta choose what you're gonna regret. You want to keep having situations like this, or you want to have it to where you could just probably pull up, you know what I'm saying, McLaren, Rolls Royce, whatever you want to pull up in because you Ice Spice, you know what I'm saying, go to the drive-thru, get your food. You can't even eat it in the car. You just didn't need to eat it in the McDonald's restaurant, you know what I'm saying? I know you thought you was smart, had your hoodie on, you thought nobody was going to notice you, but shit, you think you the shit? You're not even a fart. I'm sorry, sis. That's really the only advice I can give her because, like I said, I fuck with Ice Spice as much as the next guy. You know what I'm saying, right? How much can I really fuck with Ice Spice? But just in general, just like I said, as a fellow celebrity, I know I can't go nowhere either. That's why I be telling my fans already off rip. If you guys come up to me when I'm not expecting you guys to come up to me, I'm going to be rude. I'm sorry. If I'm just in a place to be a regular person like y'all, like I said, it just depends on the approach though. But like I said, most people don't know how to treat famous people anyway, so they're not gonna know how to approach. So most of them, I think it's like, oh yeah, we got sex on the beach. That's what we got with the instance today. Most people are just so taken aback by this, the fact that a celebrity's even in their presence, that they don't even take the time to like go to their salient brain. They don't even take the time to go to their intelligent brain to like really process that. Like, wait a minute, maybe this person doesn't want to be ran upon. Maybe this person doesn't want to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would put I'm like, McDonald's, she's clearly not trying to be seen. But in the same sense, I'd be like, well, why would you go to McDonald's? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I gotta follow her too. You know what I'm saying? Because why are you at McDonald's? Why you not at Fast Sal's, baby girl? Man, that's what I'm saying. That Spice, you didn't hit me up, man. You already in Hollywood. Fast Sal's, you would never had that experience at Fast Sal's. Oh God, everybody at Fast Sal's minds their business, and the employees are so cool that they would probably have been like, hey, Ice Spice is here, y'all. Make sure she gets a nice area that's left alone and they don't fuck with her. Type shit. Shout out to my niggas at Fast Sal's, man. Big member. I mean, me and Fast Sal's, we can do a collab too. No cap. I love y'all food. No cap. But I know they don't make food for me, so that's why I don't really, you know what I'm saying? But guess what, y'all? Houston PD. This Houston police officer was relieved of her duties because she was in her close friends talking about how she really feels about black people.
Fox 26 received a video today from a viewer who claims it shows a police officer using a racial slur time and time again. Fox 26's Karis Belger joining us in studio with more on those allegations. Karis.
Well, Anthony, the video is disturbing. Fox 26 received it from a viewer, as you said, alleging the woman in the video is Officer Ashley Gonzalez.
Damn.
Now, Houston police say they are aware of the video. While the department has not publicly confirmed Gonzalez is the woman seen in it, HPD says she's been relieved of duty as the investigation moves forward. Now, we're not showing you the full video, but I can tell you the woman in it uses a racial slur to describe black people at least 5 times. The video was posted to an Instagram story, and in it the woman also describes an arrest and says she used that same word toward the person she was taking into custody. Now, later the woman says she felt, quote, at peace being able to say it. After watching the video, Bishop James Dixon said he was shocked and disturbed by the...
Fox 26 received a video today from a viewer who claimed...
The amount of times that I will always and forever say that I hate. Oh my God, I hate. Like, I hate y'all. Like, you, like, I don't... Oh, we were slaves, isn't that? I don't give a... Like, bro, reason you guys were slaves. You guys don't know anything better than the deal. Like, oh my fucking God. Like, I was literally eating food with my friend. He had his, oh my God, like, I don't know, por Dios, por gracias de Dios, I had my fucking wallet next to me, like my whole purse, and those, like, that little small ass decided not to steal my wallet. Oh my God, I would have grabbed my heel and like, what the out of that ass. But like, whatever, right? Some other, but no homo or nothing, y'all don't know how good it felt to say, like, out loud, like, goddamn, like, oh my God, I felt like I was back. The amount of times that I felt like I was back in the Marine Corps. Like, I kid you not, I don't know what the came over me. I grabbed that on the neck, and I was like, come here, you. And oh my God, like, I felt like the world just stopped. Like, it was just peace. Like,
Dang, bro. Dang, bro. And y'all be trying to tell me racism don't exist in America? Y'all be trying to tell me the police officers aren't inherently racist? Bro, this is an Hispanic woman, bro. She would also get racially profiled. She would also be, like, also have stereotypes against her. The white people that she's thinking, because this is clearly mistaken identity. She obviously thinks she's something else. The white person that she's over here trying to embody wouldn't fuck with you either, lady. Yeah, you and your close friends. Shout out to the close friends, though. Shout out to the close friends. Shout out to Houston. Shout out to the person that freaking sent this thing in, because imagine that. Imagine how comfortable you had to be to have already just, you know, had people that you have in your close friends and your close friends. And then you're so comfortable that you're like, you know what, man? Man, N-word this, N-word this. Man, I love saying the N-word. Because I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure it probably, you know, like when they say the whistleblower, it probably wasn't someone that doesn't even fuck with her. It probably was someone that does fuck with her. It probably was someone that was probably like, yo, hey, I'm as racist as the next guy, but you going too crazy. You going too crazy. And of course, the Houston PD, they had to just put her on, remove her power. So now we're gonna see. But honestly speaking, I think we can end it right here. I think I've kind of, said what I needed to say. Don't worry, y'all. Next week will be much more compressed, and I'll have it much more tantalizing. I did kind of waste time trying to kill these fucking flies, and I do deeply apologize about that because that's not like me. You guys shouldn't be seeing that side of me. Even though I told you guys already, I will kill a fly, so don't be surprised. So, yes, sir. It's your boy K-Size-P, man. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming through. It's episode 42. It's your boy K-Size-P, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out! Let's go. Imagine, I'm gonna say some racism, something racist. Let me say something racist while I think the camera's off. Looking at